for anyone that is new here and who hasn't joined us before, UnBound is very much straightforward. It's conversational. It's going to be me and Ben bullshitting about content in the beginning, and then it usually devolves into just talking about books and everybody hangs out. So that's what we love. But I'm going to give Ben a chance to introduce himself. So give him all your places to find you, all the things you make content on, and all
Sure.
the other fun stuff between.
What's up? I'm Ben. I've been making content for a little over a year now. You can find me at either Ben Talks Books here or ben.talks.books there, because somebody apparently got that already. Or just searching Bookish Ben. That's it. I like sci-fi. I like fantasy. I like talking about books. So here we are.
I love it. Hey, Becky. That's awesome. So you're a little over a year now. So when was your 1 year?
February.
February? Right around the.
February.
Okay. That makes sense. The
Yeah.
book community drove me directly into like everybody making content at once. It was great. Uh, most people
Yeah.
were awesome.
What, in the beginning?
Yeah, so like I started using it regularly in November. I've had the account I think since like last May, but if you go like way back, it's like a random picture of like a Strength of the Few arc is the only thing that ever got likes, and that was it. And then it was like
Sure.
random, I was boomer
Sure.
Instagramming just pictures of nonsense basically. What's up, Turner?
What's up, people?
Yeah. And then November I started posting like pretty consistently towards the end of November. Uh, and then I started doing reels in December-ish.
Yeah, I
Oh,
remember us having a lot of conversations about that.
yeah, it was an interesting time, but it's those conversations are kind of what sparked the idea for this, mostly because I love it. I know mine's
That's for
mine's hidden
John.
in the back.
That's for John.
Uh, John loves Strength of the Few, or hasn't read it yet. I'm sorry, needs to read Strength of the Few, right? Or has he read it? I forget.
I don't know.
John, did you read Strength of the Few? I don't
I don't
remember.
know. I feel like I need a spreadsheet of like what my friends
Oh,
have or haven't read. So if I recommend you the same book a couple times and you've read it, that's my fault. That's my bad.
yeah, I mean, dude, it's so hard to keep track. I can't keep track of what I've read. Like, I will pull up my tracker sometimes. Like, I remember most books, but like every once in a while, I'm like, I think I read that.
That's funny. Yeah, I have a
uh,
really weird, not weird, but I have a very exhaustive spreadsheet. So it's like I can go back and be like, oh, that's what I thought about the characters, the plot, the everything. But I only started doing that like 6 months ago. So pre
okay.
6 months, I'm like, fuck, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's very funny. I'm almost the opposite now. So when I first started like reading and getting back into it, I started the blog. Um, which I know every book Ben has read. I love that. Alicia, I feel like you definitely have a spreadsheet of everybody's reads. You're
No, I think
keeping tallies.
she just got that teacher brain.
Yeah, true.
She got that steel trap memory. She's also like followed me since like the beginning, so I
Um,
think like first 100 or something.
oh damn.
Yeah. I was her
That's
first
awesome.
100 too. We both started at like the same time. It's pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very disconnected from the lore. I feel like everybody's been around for so long, and I have not been around as long. Um, and it confuses me that it's like, no, I started a year ago, and I'm like, oh, okay. I feel like people have just been grinding this forever. Um,
Yeah, you post a lot. It doesn't feel like a year. I'm at like 370 posts. It's like,
oh,
holy
damn.
shit.
Biggest fan and up. I love that.
Yeah.
So I know like we've had a lot of conversations like in DMs about content in general and stuff like that. And I always find it interesting. I feel like those conversations happen between all of us,
Mhm.
except it's always like just one on one and it never really kind of gets spread out, which kind of gave me the idea around this because I thought it would be interesting to one bullshit books, of course, because that's really what I want to do, but also to give people more of an insight. Like I don't think anything is like worth gatekeeping. I also definitely don't think any of us have any secrets. If you do, let me know. Like, you got
I
some
definitely
Instagram
don't have any.
contact.
I don't have any secrets. I do have an Instagram contact, but that's from like regular work, and I'm not allowed to
Oh,
ask him about stuff. So it doesn't
that's
help me at
unfortunate.
all.
Oh,
Doesn't
you do
help me at all.
marketing, right?
Yeah, I work in advertising. I work at a really big agency. So I mean, to be fair, that is kind of a secret cheat code in a way. but
Yeah.
it's taught me how to like process data in a different way, you know?
Hmm.
So I feel
Oh,
like that definitely gives me a somewhat of an edge when it comes to like trying to figure out what content to make or not to make.
yeah, no,
Alicia
for
has a
sure.
secret apparently.
Yeah, I
What's
was.
your secret, Alicia?
Alicia's like, go to this website, spend $10. No, I'm kidding. Totally kidding.
Alicia probably has a whole website of just the worst pictures of my face.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, no, I think the advertisement stuff makes sense. So I have a friend that does she does ad buys for influencer marketing for its makeup though, not books. Um that it's wild, like the stuff that they look at, like calculate and the like ability to like I thought our stats were detailed, like what we get out of Instagram. It's nothing in comparison to what they pull.
No, that's kind of what I do every day. Tay, I am also a DJ. That's a side quest though.
You have to bully. Yeah, that is Alicia's trademark secret to growth. It's just bully the shit out of everybody that joins you.
Yeah, kinda. It does work.
It does. Her
It
not so threatening videos. I mean, it's gotten me to read books.
I mean, I don't know. It works. It works for me too, frankly. Like, if you're just
Yeah.
gonna give me like a, I really like this book because of this, because of that, I'm gonna be like, okay, that's a really good review. But if you're like, I will rename your firstborn child after me if you don't finish this book right now, I'll read that.
Yeah. I mean, I approach it kind of the same, kind of not. Like my reviews usually it starts with me yelling about something that I'm mad about, and then
I
it
love that.
pivots.
Honestly, I just go like, man, this he's. You ever watch Family Guy?
Yeah.
You're like the grind my gears segment. That's what it
Oh,
reminds me of.
I love that
You know what
episode.
really
So
grinds my gears? It's like male fantasy that's not called romantasy, and like you just go on like a rant. I love that.
it was I actually got to don the title Angel Baby because of Alicia, so I'll take that. Um The Long Walk.
No,
I've
it's
not read
not.
that.
That's she's an op right now. She's in op mode activated. I don't
What
like The Long Walk. It's my lowest rated book I have ever completed.
really? I've
It's the
never read it.
lowest rated book I have ever completed.
What is it?
The Long Walk by
No.
Stephen King.
Oh
Oh,
no. I've never read it. That's why I'm asking.
You're saying like what rating I gave to it?
Yeah.
One and a half.
One and a half. I mean, I haven't
One and a
read.
half.
I'm gonna spread the lore here. I haven't read any King. None.
You are both not missing out and missing out because there's just so much shit. Some of it is like, wow, this is amazing, and then some of it you're like, I could tell you were on drugs when you wrote this, and it's like
Oh yeah.
it's not good, you know, because he doesn't. I don't know how familiar you are with his like editing process, but he doesn't have like an editing process per se. He writes what he calls 10 good pages a day, and I guess he'll like go through and rewrite them and whatever. But once those 10 pages are done, they are never edited again. That's it. He just moves on.
Just add me to the group chat. What group
Yeah,
chat?
for real.
Does that mean you want to join this? I'm so confused.
No, we have a BBL group chat.
Oh,
Yeah,
part of the book club there.
the book
No,
club thing. Yeah.
um, yeah. I mean, so my problem with Stephen King, and I know he writes across genres, but like the few horror books I've dipped my toes into, I'm just not a fan. Like, it's not like I'm not afraid of them. It's the same thing with horror movies. Like, my wife loves horror movies because she gets scared. I I get mad because it's like practical, and I'm like, this is stupid. This would never actually happen. I'm like, why is this going on? I don't know.
That's
I'm too
fair.
like, and I read fantasy, so you would think I could suspend disbelief, but
You gotta read. You gotta read this one. If you're gonna
I've
read
heard it's really
any
good.
any Stephen King book, this is not horror at all. This is like this genuinely makes up for the fact that The Long Walk is my least favorite book of all time. Like this makes up for it.
Yeah.
I'd be like, you know what? Okay, you're okay, Stephen King. You're okay in my book. I'm
My
this
other
close to calling him an autobi author. That's scary to me.
Wow.
I
My hot
know.
take for King is that what did it say? God, I hate the Instagram chat. It disappears too quick. Oh, he didn't like the
The
stand. Oh,
Stand. I
Turner.
really
Okay.
want to read The Stand, but I don't know when I'm going to do it because it's even bigger than 11. Hold on, I got it right here.
Well, so that's my other problem with King. I'm gonna
This
throw
is
it out there.
this is this is huge.
That's absurd. That's
I feel like
unnecessary.
I could I could throw this at the phone and the phone would break. You know what I mean? Like the pages would be intact, fine.
Yeah, that's totally not okay, frankly.
No.
I'm not gonna lie. What's up,
Is that
Jeff?
is that what you were going to say? It's too long.
Well, so it's
This
it's
book.
the same thing with Sanderson. It's like, give me a point to buy in that's not 1,000 pages.
There's actually plenty, honestly.
Well, no, I know it. Like, oh, a King probably too, but I know Sanderson, like Mistborn's not 1,000 pages, and like that will be my
Yeah.
buy-in point. But it's like you look at like Stormlight, and you're just like, why does every book have to be 1,000 pages?
I do think I made a video on this a long time ago, and I feel like I want to redo it. But I feel like authors have a golden area, sweet spot of pages that they can write. And I
Mm,
feel like some authors just can't get to the point quickly enough, and if they do, it feels rushed. And
yeah.
other authors like can get right there, and it feels great. Like I
Mm.
feel like Sanderson's sweet ring, like of all the books I've read, his sweet spot, unfortunately, 1,000 pages.
I mean,
Unfortunately,
I've read some longer books. Like I read all of Sun Eater, so like
yeah.
I get your point. Like if it's, but like he earned that for me in a way. I don't know. That's kind of hard to say because I read Empire Silence and that page that's like 600 some pages.
No, I understand what you mean. I mean, I feel like Stormlight is a really good series for like when you just get into fantasy. But I feel
Hmm.
like it definitely I've seen a lot of my friends who've like, they read a lot now and they know what their like niche is. Like
Yeah.
Stormlight to me is very pre-niche reading. You're like, "All right, I like fantasy, not really sure. Oh my God, these books are huge." And it's like I think it's like a lot of people's first really big book. You know what
Hmm.
I mean? And it's like I think that's what carries it through, but they're all huge. I don't
Yeah.
necessarily want to like reread that shit. I'm never doing that actually. I'm never doing
Yeah.
that.
I mean, I don't think I'll ever reread for the sheer fact that I have so much shit I want to read that I'll never. How do I justify like rereading Red Rising? Alicia's gonna get mad. How do I
I get
justify
it.
that though? Like, have you read Joyland, by the way?
No, I have not. Is that a King
Okay,
book?
underrated King book.
There's so many good King like there literally are so many good King books, but there are a lot of really bad ones.
Yeah.
And I started at the complete wrong place to start. Like it just isn't a good start. It's like The Long Walk is a book to read if you are like a Stephen King like a true fanatic and you want to read
Hmm.
all of his works. Otherwise, it's not. It's just not worth reading. But you could do like The Shining. You could do like Pet
Yeah.
Cemetery. Like those are a lot shorter, and you
I.
kind of get his like style a lot quicker.
Hmm. I've heard it is not like a great read. I don't know if you've read it.
I've heard it is. I've heard it's like
Ah,
because
see, it's so funny.
it definitely goes back and forth because I was doing some research for one of the brackets that I'm going to do for like Stephen King entirely. And I was like,
Hmm.
okay, I've read a couple of his books, but I want to know like what the community thinks the best books are so I can put that on the bracket.
Hmm.
And it is very often on the top 5 of most people's lists, but it is
Wow.
also pretty often at the bottom sometimes. So,
It, you know what? It's the same thing. I always joke like Sun Eater is a good example of this, where like everybody I know ranks the series differently for the most part, but like the one most consistent thing is that Empire Silence is at the bottom, even though it's not like a bad
yeah,
book objectively, but
yeah.
just in comparison to everything else.
It's a
Um,
prequel. It's a prequel. Like it is
yeah,
a prequel, you
it's a
know?
setup. It's a setup book. Like it's you have to deal with it.
Uh-huh. You do.
uh, it's like Red Rising too, though. There's a lot of shifting of like where books go, but normally book one is at the bottom for most
I've seen a
people.
couple people put like Dark Age at the bottom. Right, like more frequently, people are hating that book, and I feel like it's a real travesty.
I still have to read Lightbringer, but I did recently finish Dark Age. I like dark books though, so it's
I
kind of like,
love dark books. I was like, you
yeah.
mean we're gonna have planetary warfare and war crimes on the page? Let me get my popcorn. You know,
I You want to give me tragedy for a 800 page or however long Dark Age was? I'm good. I'm in.
make it longer. Make it longer.
Yeah,
Actually, yeah, for real.
but I think right now I haven't officially done this, but like on the spot, my I'm torn between that and Iron Gold, which is a hot take, I know, but
You'd say between the bottom two, you'd say Iron Gold
no,
and Dark.
top.
Top two is Dark Age and Iron Gold.
Hmm.
I think Iron Gold is like a true gentleman's choice. Do you know what I mean? It's like I get it because I didn't like it very much when I first started reading it. But I think when you read it after you have a little bit more experience and you can like be a little bit more patient with the reset, and you don't read it like I don't know when you read it, but I read it. I closed Morningstar, opened Iron Gold, and I was like,
So
oh, this kind of sucks.
I did the same thing except I paused. I got like
Smart.
4 chapters in and I was like, I'm gonna switch to something else. I think I went and read Throne of Glass after that.
So smart. Like the smartest thing you could have done, frankly.
And then when I came back to it, I was like, oh my god, this is great. And then I was online. I'm like, why does everyone hate this book?
I went to when I went to Dragonsteel and Pierce was the guest. Like people were talking about. We had this like section where we cheered for our favorite book, and it's like Red Rising. Actually, like a good amount of people were like, yeah, and like Golden Sun, super loud. Morningstar,
Yeah.
super loud. Iron Gold, maybe one person.
Ugh,
And like everybody
that's a
started
shame.
laughing. Even he started laughing, and he was like, "I know, like he knows that nobody likes that book." But it's not that
It's
it's a bad book. It's just there's so many other better ones.
yeah, it's I think with Iron Gold, I think what I appreciate about Iron Gold the most is like I know a lot of people hate Lyria, and I think a lot of people hate Lyria because Lyria paints Darrow transitions from being Darrow to now you're questioning if you should like Darrow. Like I don't want to spoil anything for anybody that hasn't read it, though it's been like 10 years, so it's kind of on you at this point, but I still don't believe in spoiling. But yeah,
No,
I think
totally.
that's
Yeah.
a lot of people's big issue with her is that it nobody wants to think about the rest of it. Everybody just wants the aura farm of Golden Sun and Morningstar. Like
No, I get
you
that.
did it.
I didn't.
You know,
I for me, it wasn't even that. I just like I didn't really like the pacing of her chapters because it was very like, okay, we literally are in the middle of this war, and I want to see how bad everything's going to get. And then I thought her beginning was really good, but then the whole like middle part, where she has her like comeuppance, if you would, where she starts
yeah.
to realize who she was. I was just like, it wasn't bad. It just felt so out of place because the other characters that in your story are the one you want to read about the most. So you're like, all
Hmm.
right, you get way less of that, so that immediately kind of sucks. Then you get some Lysander chapters, which I liked a lot.
Yeah.
I think he's one of the best written characters in the whole franchise, and I thought his chapters in Iron Gold were fucking awesome, especially because you got to see Cassius do cool shit, right?
Hmm.
But I just think Lyria's arc was just so out of place, and then
Yeah.
eventually, I think she's got a great overall arc, but just the Iron Gold part, I was like, I don't know.
You know what's funny is Ephraim was probably my least favorite in Iron Gold.
Yeah,
Like
I didn't like
his
him
his
either.
POV. He got better. He was another one. He got better towards the end, but it was kind of like I think it's to your point, you know, you're dealing with setup of new characters. And Lysander at least had like Cassius to lean on when you have those POVs, where Ephraim and Lyria were like basically new.
On their
Uh
own. No, that makes a
yeah.
lot of sense because it's a absolutely great point. Yeah.
It's just like Strength of the Feud. Like I loved Strength of the Feud, don't get me wrong, but you know, you're getting introduced to these other pieces that basically reset and you have one fully established and then other pieces that are reset. I don't want to say too much because
Hmm.
but yeah, so it's kind of like it's that same I think that's why a lot of people that book is so polarizing. It's
It's
wild
super.
actually.
I really like it, and I don't like the first book like at all. Really,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, oh that's right. Yeah, you didn't like the first book.
I thought it was
Yeah, the
fine. I didn't dislike it, but I thought it was like extremely mid, like the most mid of the mid books I've ever. I was like, this isn't like categorically bad, but it's
mhm.
also like not categorically good to me because it's like, wow, you did kind of
It,
just straight up rip off a lot of things.
well,
And
it's
like,
Red Rising. It's Red Rising but fantasy. I mean,
it's also like it's multiple, but it's more than that because it's like
yeah.
it's the Red Rising. It's got the Hunger Games thing, which comes out of nowhere and I think ruins the ending. Like I think, and then it's also the magic system is not actually very new. Like I just read Warbreaker; it's the same magic system. Like
Oh, really?
other than the fact, like in Warbreaker, when it's called like chromatic breath. So same thing, you
Mhm.
get like the souls pledged to you, or whatever, right? And you're really strong, you
Okay.
can get souls. You use that and you like breathe your souls into like pieces of clothing. So it's like similar to like powering up with
Yeah.
Will of the Many, but it's the same intake system. So I was like, all right, it's this, it's
I
that, it's this, and I think that's why I like Strength of a few more because I was like,
I
scrap it, let's do something else.
trying I'm trying to think of how I read Will of the Many was probably one of my earlier reads when I got back into reading. But I think it was my first like fantasy outside of like a romantasy.
Uh-huh.
And I was kind of like sad because I hadn't had like fresh magic, you know what I mean? Like even Throne of Glass, like I loved Throne of Glass as a series, but like the magic system isn't fresh, you know what I mean? It's a fantasy magic system. It's elemental
That's fine.
fairies or fae, whatever, you know what I mean? There's nothing
That's
wrong with
fine.
it. It's just,
Yeah.
but it's everything you've seen 1,000 times. So I think that was part of it for me. I also almost DNF the first book because like the first 25%, I was like, what? I have no idea what's happening. I'm so
Yeah.
confused and there's so much going on. But no, it definitely gripped me. I think the second one is definitely better though, like by a
I
mile.
agree. I think it's way better. I think it's because of all of the reasons that people hate it is why I like it.
Yeah.
They're like, but
Did
I
you
didn't like the side characters. I was like, I didn't like them in the first book, so I was fine with brand new ones, you know?
yeah. Did you read his other series, La Cana, whatever the hell it's called?
No, it's right behind me. It is the longest sitting book on my shelf. Like of any of the
Wow.
books. Like this is one of, if not the first, let's say first five books that I bought when I bought a bookshelf was the
Hmm.
Lacanius trilogy.
No
And
shit.
it's just sitting there. I don't know. I don't know what's holding back. It's just I think they're just so big and I don't know if I'm gonna like it, but I think I will. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, have you read Throne of Glass?
No, I need a lot of convincing. I need a lot of convincing because
Oh,
don't
so
I don't know when that it's gonna click to be like, yeah, I want to read this, you know? Like I feel like it may be too late for me, but I'm open to
I don't know.
convincing.
I I really liked it for the sheer fact that it was so the lore behind how I got back, it was I started with Akatar. I read that entire series.
Hmm.
Then I jumped into Red Rising and I read up to Morning Star, tried Iron Gold, put it down, and then I went through Throne of Glass. I think I read like one or two things in between while I was reading Throne of Glass, but
Hmm.
it's see, it's tough because it's epic fantasy. Like, and it's very different from Akatar. I will die on the hill that it is an epic fantasy series. It is not a romantasy series. Like,
I don't look at it as that. I mean, I think there
yeah,
are some definite clear romantices, and I feel like that one I get why it gets categorized like that, but it's just I think it's just more so because of who wrote it.
yeah, no, for sure.
Like
And like,
she's written like the most popular romantic series of all time, so naturally
yeah,
people are just going to bundle that thing in there.
and Alicia and I, Throne of Glass, I'll reread right now. There you go. We could do a Throne of Glass book club. I'll do it on audio.
I mean,
All
I
right, we
can't
can
do
talk
this
about
right
it.
now, but I'd be down for that.
Come on, what do you mean? You can do Realm of the Elderlings, your book club, and Throne of Glass? What are you talking
No, I'm
about?
glad you know that already because I'm struggling
Yeah.
so hard. I was supposed to start Assassin's Apprentice at the beginning of the month, and I finished four books. I'm gonna finish a fifth book before I start it. It's just keeps getting kicked down the line, and then yeah, I have my own book clubs and got an in-person book club. I can't do another
Yeah.
big series
Oh,
right
I
now.
forgot you do the in-person one too. I've seen the
Hmm.
pictures where you do like charts. You guys go hard. It's like a fantasy draft. I love it.
Dude, we did that. We're gonna do that again. We're gonna go to the park in June, and we're gonna do like a big bracket style vote again. It's been super fun.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm hoping when we move, there'll be more of an active like in person. There's like one person in real life I know that lives here that like reads. But
That's how it was when I lived in Florida. I was like,
oh, that's funny because that's where I'm
I'm gonna
going.
even.
So that's not gonna
I
go well.
mean,
No, I'm kidding.
to be fair, it is Florida. Like,
Yeah,
not everybody knows how to read, you know.
the Floridians. They're an interesting
But
breed.
where you're going, though, I think you'll find some better pieces for sure.
Yeah, I need to
You're gonna
get in
have to
that.
go to Disney Book Club.
It is you. Disney Book Club. So there's a lot of indie bookstores. So that's the other problem I have with
Yeah.
Connecticut. And Lattes and Bones can comment on this. She is the person that I know in real life that reads, um, and is from this drive-through state. I can't even call it a flyover state because there's nothing to look at. Um, but
Drive through state's
yeah,
crazy.
well, it's you got to go to Boston or you got to go to New York City. Which one are you going to? Because you're driving through Connecticut. Um,
I
but
think I've
yeah,
been to
so
Connecticut like twice, but anyways, keep going.
I'm sorry. Yeah, there's just like not a
I'm
lot of indie bookstores.
sorry.
There's like
That's
a
so
handful.
funny. We have a lot in Denver. I'm like, it's not when I moved here, I wasn't reading that much, so I didn't really have any. That wasn't like a thing I was looking for. But now I'm like, kind of overwhelmed because like every time you go out to one of these bookstores, especially like the used ones, you're finding like the coolest book you've ever seen, but it's like $200. You're like, ah, damn it,
Yeah.
you know? We've got an antiquarian bookstore that only buys like really old books and specifically in really good shape. So you're like,
No
wow,
shit.
it's really cool, but it's like very expensive.
Yeah, I'm very glad. Like people will set like I've seen some of the hauls you've gotten, but like people will send me like they have these bookstores and they will people will like bring in like special edition fairy loot limited editions broken binding stuff and I'm like if I had like direct access where it was in my face and I didn't have to like negotiate on Macari or something like I'd spend way more money and it would be a problem.
I have so many books behind me that like are just collector's items that I haven't read because
Same.
I just found them at a thrift store. What was it? Yeah, I don't know if
Oh yeah,
you see
that's
it up
nice.
here, but yeah.
You are breaking everything in your you gotta like make room wherever you're sitting, man. I feel like
I've
you've knocked over like four
I've
things.
knocked over a lot of things because I'm currently moving. Wait, you want to see? Look, I have no
Sure.
couch. I have no couch. Can you see that?
Oh,
I
that's
just sold my
problematic.
couch and I have a new one coming. So I've got everything stuffed in a corner
Okay.
so that I can put my couch there and then yes, I'll have room to sit in this little corner.
Okay. I wasn't sure if this was like a new development because I'm like, I mean, you stand in one place for most of your videos, so I was just kind of like, does he just perfectly place himself and just never moves so he doesn't knock shit over?
No, there's space around me. It's just that like chair, table, you know what
Yeah.
I mean?
It's,
Anyways.
I mean, my office is this. I feel like my videos make my office deceptively larger than it is. Like,
Hmm.
there is 2.5 feet between my desk and this bookshelf. Like,
Yeah,
it's insane. It's awful. And I
I get
can't
it.
get the chair out the door anymore because the bookshelf
Oh, that's really
partially
funny.
covers it. Yeah. So I
That's really
literally I'm
funny.
trapped. The chair's trapped. I cannot wait to move and have room. Uh
Yeah, that is nice. I'm trying to find a tutu so I could get like a an actual room for recording now. Because when I moved in, I did like that was not a thing I was thinking about.
yeah. Well, that's my thing now is like the houses we're looking at. I'm like, all right, it's got to be 4 bedrooms or 3 beds with an, like a den space with a door. Because I need the girls need their rooms, and then I basically lost all my office space to my children. But um, that or I'm gonna do a
You're making a good case here.
yeah, I'm gonna do a library shed. I think
You're gonna do a what?
that I'm gonna do a library shed.
A library
Uh,
shed.
So I'm going to buy
Okay,
like a 12 by 10 or a 12 by 12 prefab. I'm going to have electricity and a mini split put in it. I'm going to have it insulated and finished and put built-ins. And
I love it.
it's going to be in my backyard and I will be in my glory because I will be leaving my house, but not actually. And it'll be great.
You better make that shit hurricane proof because where you living, dude?
Oh,
That'll be a
Central
bad
Florida,
day.
You don't get it's,
Yes, you do.
I don't think my parents have gotten anything over a Cat 1 to actually like arrive at their door.
It, okay, maybe, but still, because I used to live there. I lived there,
Oh,
and
no, I know.
we had a Cat 4 come through, and that was pretty scary. Pretty scary.
I mean, I can't Florida man it either. That's the worst part. Like, because I have the kids, so I can't like Florida man it and be like, I'm not leaving my house. I'm gonna sit with my
No,
books
you.
in this cat for a hurricane.
Yeah, it's hard too, because like, especially where you are, you try to like leave, and it's just gonna turn wherever you're going, because that's just how life works.
Yeah. Uh, but I mean, the upside for me with Central is at least like, I mean, it could still flood, obviously, but it's not like I'm dealing with
Yeah.
the shore.
No,
Yeah,
it's
Ricky,
definitely
it's gonna
better.
be dope. Um, and though they got frost this year, I was like, never mind, I'm not fucking moving there. I'm like, you guys got frost? I'm like, that's some bullshit.
It was it was colder in Florida a lot this year, more than it was here in the
Yeah.
middle in Colorado in the middle of winter. Like that was we've had the strangest winter we've ever had
It,
since I've moved
it,
here.
it's I've been in my new house so I've been in Connecticut my whole life, but in the house that we bought, I've been in it 4 years this July, so perfect time to sell it, I guess. But I had bought a quad, so I have like a really big driveway, and I bought a quad with a plow and stuff because like we have stuff we have to move around and whatever. But the first 3 years, it snowed like a total of 4 inches, like over the entire time. I was like, I don't know why I bought this quad. It's stupid. I sold it in the spring because I knew it would sell and I knew we were moving. It snowed like 4 feet this year over like 2 weekends. I was like, of course.
We did not get any snow this year, like at all. It was so strange. It's
It's
been super hot. But anyways, whatever.
the segue. But so it's funny, you talked about the bracket and then we got on a tangent, but I am
Uh-huh.
curious, how do you find it converts? So you only do those in stories, right?
Uh-huh.
Do you ever end up doing like, I don't think I've ever seen one. Like you don't do like feed reels on it, right? Or anything?
Nope. It's
It's just strictly,
entirely engagement based, yeah.
so it's strictly community engagement for the most part, right? Because stories technically can go outside of your followers, I think.
They can go outside of your followers. I have seen that before, but it's like I mean the thing is for me at least strategy wise is all of your story views count towards your views for the day and all of your
Oh yeah,
engagements
that's right.
counts towards your engagement rate. And so I have a
Hmm.
pretty good engagement rate on some of these.
Yeah.
Anything you can do that's interactive and really easy for somebody to just click on,
Hmm.
like everything goes into your algorithm, and I've seen it definitely help overall. But like for example, a really good story day, I can double the amount of views that I've had for the day. Like, or
Yeah.
at least give it maybe 50% more of the views that I had that day. Not even on the video itself, just like it just counts. Every story
Hmm.
counts. Even if it's the same 500 people every time, every story counts. So you
Yeah.
post 5 stories, they're all 500 views each. That's a really easy way to start boosting your content.
Mm. Yeah. It's funny. I don't, what's up, Darius? I've never really strategized my stories. And it's not even like I don't even consider them. Like when I post stories, I'm posting stuff that's fun or
Yeah.
just whatever random shit. Or if I want to rant about something that like does not deserve a reel, it 100% ends up in a story.
Yeah.
Um, but I didn't realize it counted towards your engagement rate. I knew it counted towards the views, but I guess that makes sense. If it counts towards the views, it counts towards the ER.
Every button you can click on, every button.
Yeah. I have found I think it's interesting that a lot of people get caught in views, and I think me and you have talked about this before a little bit, but I focus so much more on engagement. Like I would so much rather have the engagement rate and not move in views. But I don't know. I know for each like the growth is important. I always try to like balance this because it sounds so it's easy to say at this number, you know what I mean? Like, oh, who cares about views and growth? Um,
Sure.
and it sounds ridiculous when I'm like saying that from an account that has 25K, right? Like people are gonna be like, oh yeah, all right, asshole, like you already did it. That's why. But honestly, I haven't changed much of anything of what I post from the start. And I would say like if anything, I've polished it, but I don't think the content itself has changed. I think I would say the same for you. I mean, you can speak for yourself, but like at least from the outside looking in, like I don't think your content has changed all that much. If anything, it just gets more, you get into a rhythm of doing things.
Yeah, I think for me it's just I've kind of really figured out that like people like repetitive nature. Like they like series. They like to come back and
Hmm.
see the same thing. And for a long time I was like, I'm going to make the most unique videos. And frankly, like I think that was not working as well as I needed it to be, because I was like every video was new, and every time a good video would happen, I would leave it. And then like
Yeah.
that's silly, right? Versus like, I do my video game thing like almost every week now, because every week it's something people like to watch. Like it's every Tuesday at a certain time. It's like a TV show, and it's like not even
Hmm.
strategy anymore. It's just kind of, second nature. And I know somebody was asking, how do you calculate engagement rate? Engagement rate is uh, button clicks or just engages with your content. So in your story, it's votes, it's likes, it's shares divided by your impressions, which is the number of your views, and then that'll give you your engagement rate. In advertising terms, that's also like kind of your CPM. So it's how much
Hmm.
it costs per thousand person to view. A really good engagement rate, that depends, because I haven't really calculated my engagement rate down to a
Yeah.
percentage, but in the advertising world, a good engagement rate for a video, like 3%, something like that. It kind of depends.
Yeah. I think it also depends on, so from what I understand, again, like I think each industry probably looks at it a little differently too, depending on what you're, marketing out and whatnot. But the one thing I will say, I mean, you can probably speak better, obviously, to this, but from what I'm told, like the hugest cost, the lowest cost of acquisition is influencer marketing, especially like what do they consider this number? Micro influencer or
Micro
whatever.
influencing, yeah, anything under like 100,000 is kind of technically a micro influencer. Yeah.
But it's funny as size goes up, the good rating of engagement goes down, which I mean I guess tracks to an extent.
Well, you
Because
start
like
to get less engaged people. Like that's the only
yeah,
way that you ever get to that point is you start to reach the mom and pops literally who are just like they like to read Frida McFadden in their downtime and they just really like to see people talk about books. You know what I mean? It's like
hmm
that's why because those people are not typically engaging. So it's kind of the only way, you know, like your engagement rate's naturally going to go down the bigger you get, but not necessarily. You know, you and I don't think have had that
yeah.
problem.
No, I mean I think it's very much like you're a lot like me. I think we're in the comments a lot.
Yeah.
That is one thing I've noticed about people. Like, I like to talk to people, especially after I make something. I love to discourse. I love to debate as long as it stays like somewhat normal. Um, but you
Not
know,
on my page, dude. I don't
well,
I don't get any of those people anymore.
I really,
I feel like people who disagree with me on my page lately have not been like, let's have a conversation. It's like
I, I mean,
immediately mad, you know?
knock on wood, I, I, I've been so fortunate with it. It's crazy. Like,
Sure.
I've expected it, especially with my content. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not like beating around the bush about what I think by any means, and I'm very much calling you out if you're an asshole. Like I don't do it in so many words, obviously. I think it's my approach, maybe. I don't know. Because I don't ever usually if I'm hot about something and I'm gonna make a video, I wait like 3 to 4 hours before I film it. Because
Okay. Yeah.
if I do it in the moment, I'm gonna be a dick. And I know it, like, because I'm mad, like, I'm genuinely mad about whatever at the time. Sometimes, this isn't always, but sometimes. And I'm like, all right, I can't make this video because it's just going to be me like calling people an asshole for 3 minutes, and nobody's going to want to watch that. I mean, people
Yeah.
will watch it, but you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then I kind of try to always think about like, how can I frame this in a way that it addresses the problem, it calls it out, but it doesn't call out like a specific video or a specific creator. It's always the root of the issue. And how can I frame it in a way that will bring engagement to the topic more so than the focus of why it got made. You know what I mean? Like how does it get better? Or like the AI video is a good one. You know,
Mm-hmm.
there was a ton of shit going on, authors getting canceled. You know, like the RF, I think I made it right around the RF Kwong stuff. And I was just like, this is so insane. I'm like, every day I'm on here and some author that doesn't say boo to anybody's getting canceled for some nonsense because like 3 people on threads decided they wanted to talk about it today. And
It's
I'm just
wild
like,
how those always blow up. It's like one person says one thing and then bam, it's like an eruption. It's pretty nuts, honestly. Frank, it's like
people,
it's
I
wild because
hate that app.
it's paradoxical because if you give attention to that, then that gives it you know, you give it credit and then that becomes an idea. It doesn't just
Mm-hmm.
become like something that someone stupid. I've started like like deploying that strategy in my comments whenever I can. If somebody says some shit I don't like, I just I just leave it, and typically it
Yep.
just goes all the way to the bottom. You know, like you say
Yeah.
whatever you want, I guess. But then when I chirp back, next thing you know, there's like 7 likes on mine, 4 on his. Somebody's getting ratioed. It's people are getting
Yeah.
angry. You know. Also, yeah,
Threads is garbage.
I'm
Yes.
never getting on threads. I don't know why anybody thought that would be a good idea.
I have an account. I think I've made like 3 threads in the entire time that I've had one. I click on it like once a month, and it's usually because I've clicked on a notification that I thought was an Instagram notification, and it was a Threads one. And I'm
Got
like,
you.
why am I getting Threads notification? I don't care. Uh,
They want me to
yeah,
sign up almost every day. Almost every day, I get a notification. Sign up for no. I did the whole social media creator thing on Twitter before it became X. I don't want
same.
to do that again. I don't want to do
It's
that.
I have like I did it when I was learning tech and like when I made the transition in my career, and like that was kind of how I learned how to like work within social media, but also like be able to find people I actually want to talk to. Um, but it's a cesspool now, obviously, and
Could have
but
told you
threads
that
I
was going to happen. You know, it's like
threads is
Twitter.
essentially the Facebook of it's the same thing, or you know, it's the Twitter version of
It's
Facebook
the
or whatever.
Twitter
It's just
version. Yeah.
garbage.
I
Uh,
you can't let people just speak freely. Like you have to. The barrier to entry for me to like this is why I don't. I'm off of these apps. You need to go sit in front of a phone or make a graphic, and I'll listen to what you have to say. I don't want
yeah.
to just read your unfiltered garbage words. I don't want to do that anymore.
Oh, how do we feel about instance?
I don't. They're nothing. Who cares? You know,
I
they mean
I
nothing. But
I
it's like
don't know
okay.
what their goal is with it. They made an app.
Oh,
There's an app. I didn't even know. There's a separate app
yeah,
for it.
yeah. So, well, I guess in that response, because like in the app, so there's another app. I forgot what it's called. That's the whole app. You just keep sending instant pictures to each other. And so
Okay.
every time there is like an app, I did not say free speech is bad, Will.
I mean, I did technically hear that, but I let it. No, I'm kidding.
No, I said I don't want to read it. You could say whatever you want on that app. I'm not going to download it because I know it's going to be really gross. Um,
Fair.
anyways, what were we talking about?
The instance thing that
Oh, they're
I
just
looked
trying to
like an
copy
idiot in my
another
first
app.
one.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
just trying to copy. So it's just a strategy that they do where they'll like the same thing they did with like Instagram in general when they figured out they couldn't beat it, they just bought it. So it's
Hmm.
the same thing. Like they wanted to shut Snapchat down for similar like reasons and like make a new Snapchat or make a new version of this app. So yeah, the instance is just another version of them trying to get more downloads on the app because total download number also goes to your bottom line. Like
Yeah. I sorry.
I'm getting
Uh
flamed in the comments. I hate this
I
so much.
you
I
apparently love
hate this.
fascism. That's now on video.
You can't say that to a Jew. So that's my back. That's my get out of jail free card. I just used it. You can't say that to
uh,
me.
I love it. This is devolved so fast. I love it. This is why I love live though.
Yeah.
People are always like, so when I do Realm Runners with Pete, it's the same thing, except it's, author interviews or whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
I love live because you I think it takes a certain breed to do live too, though. It's
It
you
does.
can get in a lot of wild hot water, not even on purpose. Like just saying things like
Uh huh.
not thinking and then having to backtrack like your beat, it's over. Like
Dude,
it's clipped.
I got not a literal strike, but I got a you are not being recommended for the next 30 minute strike on TikTok because I was criticizing Disney. Like no bullshit. I was criticizing Disney. We were talking about the new Star Wars movies, and I went into this whole ramble talking about how like they're modern day fascists, and that's why they can't tell good stories because they don't realize that they're the enemy. And I'm going on and on and on, and then bang, you got a 30 minute. You are not being recommended to other accounts thing. I was like, that's kind of
That's
scary, dude.
that's all right. Will, speaking of talking about free speech, he got flagged by TikTok on his like real or not real carousel graphics, and they were like, this is fully generated with AI. I was like,
Oh, I
it's
saw
literally
that.
trad book covers and stuff. Like I was like, what are we talking about?
I saw that. I saw that. I was like, TikTok's weird, man. It's just a bunch of
Yeah,
robots now, you know? Yeah,
it's
Baba, Maul is pretty good. Andor is very good, but that's because they're not being written by like typical Disney execs.
yeah,
Anyways, yeah. Don't go after the mouse. We don't
yeah.
want to get
No, you
flagged
can't.
on the
Listen, if
this is a
the
very mouse friendly app. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, I mean, if the governor of Florida couldn't do it, I don't think anybody can do it.
Damn right.
God, I hate. Never mind. We're gonna move past this because this will devolve so fast. Um. Anyways, the instance thing. The reason I bring it up is, do you think that they try to force it in a way that they start counting it toward engagement? So, like similar to what they've done with Reels, right? So, like the app starts as like carousels got pushed hard. Everybody kept telling me to like. If you talk to anybody that does strategy on Instagram, right? Like you see all those accounts, and it's like this is the year of carousels, da 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 da, and like I'll be the first one to
Okay.
say I drank the Kool Aid in January or in December because I made that like one carousel about like calling everybody's favorite book romantasy. Little did I realize that that blew up because I basically said Red Rising and Sun Eater were romantasy, knowing full well they're not. It was just kind of like to prove the point.
Sometimes
Um,
you gotta rage bait just a
yeah,
teeny tiny bit because people can't help themselves.
No, definitely not. But that like I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. This is viral. Like I went from like 1,000 followers at the end of December, and like that post got me to like 3K, I think, right before the end of the year, which was crazy. And I was like, oh my God, this is the key. This is the sauce. Like I figured it out. I'm gonna
Yeah.
be huge off carousels. And then I like made like six more, and they did absolutely fucking nothing. And I was just like, all right, cool.
Hey,
This is not the
carousels are
sauce.
pretty good, man.
No,
Carousels are work.
so
You
there's
gotta hit
so
a
much more
certain
effort for
niche.
me.
Yeah, no,
So
I
much more
get it.
effort for me.
I get it. I totally get it. But that's what's done for me because, like, to your point, I had like 3,000 in January, and then I posted one thing that went nuts, and like I was at 10K in like a week, and then
Yeah,
it was like
the
bang, 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 bang. It's just been that's I don't know. It sometimes it just hits, and you
mhm.
just kind of go on a weird, crazy run, and you just hope it you hope the steam doesn't run out, you know?
Yeah, it's funny. I was like, "Oh my God, I have to capitalize on this." I'm very glad I broke that mentality quick though, because like I was trying to optimize, and I was like, this is not fun anymore. I'm making content to try to optimize content, which is making my content suck.
Hmm.
Not that I don't strategize, think about how I'm doing content by any means, but you know what I'm saying. Like I was trying to replicate that romantic serial, like in a
Yeah, I get
few.
it. You can't. It's hard to chase that. Like if
Yeah.
you don't get so like I for me a really good concept that like will definitely work for a long term is something that does really well in the first one, does better in the second one, does better in the third
Mm,
one, and then kind of starts to even out. You'll get a couple of blips up and down, but it'll be a very high floor thing. But it's like if you don't get it to be better by the second and third, it means people are not, you know what I mean? So it's hard. So my whole
yeah.
strategy has just been trying to cluster things together so that because I have so many, I write a lot of scripts. It's just fun for me, and so I'll
I'm the
just,
same way. I
yeah, like,
pre-write everything.
yeah, I do too. Yeah, I think I'm up to 81 pages of
Oh, I'm not
scripts of
that
shit.
much. I pre-write like maybe a week.
No, I just like it's just fun for me. It's also because like I would like to be, somebody who writes a book eventually.
Mm,
Apparently that's not you're not allowed to do that if you make content. You're not allowed to write a
no,
book,
not at
I've
all.
heard. So
It's a
it's
bad
been
bad thing
helping
to
me
do.
because I get to practice writing more. And also I just like it. So I'll literally, for example, like with the video game thing, I've got like parts up to 25 written for that because
Damn.
anytime anybody suggests something, I just go start doing my research and being like, okay, like I've played this game. What books does it remind me of? I really like to use Reddit a lot for research too, just to see like what did real people think is going to work here. So I feel like, when you were talking about my content changing, I feel like I've turned more into like a resourceful content creator where I'm like, okay, I took the criticism of book talkers talking about the same books kind of seriously. And so I was
Hmm.
like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna be a resource. I'm really good at doing research. I'm gonna do research on a lot of these other books that are on my TBR that maybe I haven't had the time to read yet, and just be like, look, these are really good options for everybody. And that's
Hmm.
sort of worked really well for me.
Yeah, I used to get stressed about not being well read enough for content. That was another thing that like really messed with me because I was like, I've read maybe 100 and something books, right? I mean, at this point, I think I'm closer to like 150 now, which again, in this space is like a half a year for some people.
Yeah,
um,
yeah, it is.
but
It's wild, but yeah.
I was just like, shit, man, how do I, like, because the romantasy reel worked because it was like I had good comps to make. You know what I mean? I could say, oh, these are the things. Like that was perfect rage bait in my opinion.
It was
Like
perfect rage bait.
I wish I
Masterclass
could
rage bait.
do it again. And it was so off the cuff. Like I didn't script anything back then. Like I didn't think through it. I was just kind of like, what can I do that would be
Well,
annoying because
let
everybody's
me
complaining about real fantasy.
a little secret for you. Just post it again, dude.
I know.
I know you're gonna hate it. It's something about it feels kind of icky, but also just if it worked that well, just post it again. Make a little bit of a different thing. Post it
Well,
again.
so that's the
Content
thing.
people. Sorry, you can keep. I
No, I was
interrupted
just
that.
going to say, I think that the part of that reason that that blew up the way it did, right? It was
Mm,
not just like the content was good. It was perfect rage bait. It got engagement. I was a smaller account at the time and it like really caught traction fast, which at the time my skip rate was fucking awful. So to see a skip rate below 50%, the algorithm was like, hang on a minute. Um, but I also tagged all of the authors and the only one that didn't repost it to a story and their page was Rebecca Yarros, which would have been dope, but
sure.
still, it was like, big author accounts reposted that, and it was like a huge thing, and it caught a ton of
No, I get
traction.
it.
And I do agree with you though, because I've noticed it with list. That's why I think list content does so well. Is it's easy, it's savable. Even if you like one book in it, now you're like, well, if I like this one book,
100%. 100%. People also just
um,
fuck it. They just love a good 1 through 5. They're like, well,
yeah,
I gotta know what number one is. it's a,
it's
it's a compulsion, but it works.
it's not even that I don't like doing them. I have to think harder, I've noticed with lists, like in the sense of like, how do I make this fit together with the books that I want to put in it? I do like lists for mixing indie in with trad. Like if I want people to read indie books, like a specific indie or something like that, I will pack it around a bunch of trad books that
Yeah,
are popular.
I do that a lot too. It works so well because it's always because I mean I don't talk about a lot of indie books because I read a lot of indie that I frankly have not I don't like, and
Mm,
I tell every indie author who really like wants to send me a book, like, I have no problem, reading your book. I don't know when I'm going to read it. I'm not going to commit
yeah.
to reading it at any time, and if I don't like it, you'll never hear from me again. Like,
Well, frankly, it's the best way to be. I say that all the
it is the
time.
best way to be. It's like, you know what? Like, I may not like it, but somebody else could. I don't need to post anything bad about it. So,
Yeah, I agree. That is how I try to treat indie too. And there are some that I've read that I really, really like. And I people always ask, they're like, "Oh, why do you do content?" And at first, it was kind of like I really just wanted to bullshit books with people, right? And then it like became something, and I was just kind of like, "Well, shit." I don't really have a good reason why. Like, I don't want to get paid. If I wanted to get paid, I'd have roses all over the back of my fucking backdrop right now. You know what I mean? And they'd be vibrating off the shelf as we talked. But it's not about getting paid for me,
no,
obviously, because
I'm
otherwise
with
I
you.
would
I
have
don't.
taken that bag.
Yeah, it's
It's
like it's nice.
I'm
It's nice to
fortunate
get like
enough.
some stuff sometimes, but yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not in it for
I don't
money
get me wrong.
either.
I love a free book. Actually, I'm at a point now where I'm like, can we pause sending me books because I'm moving right now and it's miserable.
Yeah.
But it's I'm fortunate enough to not need the money. You know what I mean? No shame on anybody that gets their bag. I always say that, like, get your bag. Makes no difference to me. I
Yes.
just want it to be I want to get to a point where I can love an indie book so much that I can talk about it and it changes the trajectory of that book. And I don't care what genre it's in. Like I think I've shown that, I think I got deemed the romantasy guy early, but and grant you, it's still like a primary focus, but it's also primarily what I read. Um, but I think I've shown that I can shift and but I can also shift books. Like I like to tell people that I like to make books, books aren't genred. Yeah, so like a lot of people say books aren't gendered, which I agree with, but books aren't genred in my opinion most of the time. Like there are genre notes, but almost every book has characters that have found family, some type of a romantic subplot, you
Sure.
know, all of those reasons that you connect with the book, regardless of the genre, whether it be horror, grimdark, romantasy, straight romance, could be fucking Ice Planet Barbarians, right? But I think it was Miles Lyon's book that really solidified that for me because when I talked about it, I focused on the dope magic system, but also the love story and how it was all like tied in together and the cost of everything and da 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 da.
Yep.
And so many people picked up that book that probably wouldn't have, and I was just like, this is what I want to do.
No, I love it. I mean, I agree. My indie reviews have been doing better than my trad reviews lately, which is kind of wild because it is like I don't talk about them that much, right? But I mean, Price of
Mm-hmm.
Fear is a great example because it was really cool because he's got all these like analytics and everything on all his book sales and everything. And
Yeah.
he told me the day after I posted my review was his best day in sales and most Kindle pages read ever. And I was like, wait, that's fucking cool. I could do that. Like,
Right.
whoa, that's amazing. To your point, like it changes the trajectory. Like, I'm not gonna say I was like the reason why cello skate goes traditional. That's insane, but it is like it felt like that in a way, not me personally, but like
I get what you're
everybody
saying.
got on board with that early. And I've been posting about that for like pretty much every single month since I've become a content creator. So it's like it's cool to be on board with something, even if you're just a minor player, and see it kind of change trajectory, because it
Hmm.
did. And it's like his case is very special in particular, but like same thing with Miles, like he's
Yeah.
going trad now too. And it's like, whoa, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's going to be wild to see how that all works out. Like when he got agented with Kyle's agent, I was like, okay. I was like, this is going to be a bigger deal than
Oh,
like
I didn't
even
know it
I
was
thought.
Cahill's agent. That's
Yeah,
why. That's
that's
crazy.
Kyle's agent.
His agent's cool. I've had drinks with him.
Oh, really?
I think it was his agent. Pretty sure it was his agent because he
The
came to
guy,
Dragon's Den.
John? Oh, probably.
I think
I
so.
don't know. Was it John or was it Marcus? So I've had
I
drinks with
don't.
Marcus.
I don't
Marcus is
remember their
the
name.
Marcus has really like long hair. They're both British, so it's hard to tell because John's British too.
Are they like the same height?
I don't know because I've never met John. I've only met Marcus, who is the
Okay,
like
because
head
they
of
were like the same
publishing at
height.
TBB.
Yeah. Okay, and
But
doesn't
anyway,
doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Point
sorry.
being, that's really
Yeah,
cool. That's really cool.
yes,
I
it
didn't know
is.
that.
So there's a recent indie book. Of course, everything is a disaster. I can't get into my bookshelf because there's baby gates in front of it. But it's that white one over my left shoulder. Or well, I don't know
Right
whoever's
shoulder.
left, but yeah. Anyways, it's called Between Tides and Thunder. So I picked this up at an indie bookstore in Florida, like that I was randomly in. I was like, oh, I've seen this like pop up on my feed before. I said, I'll grab it. I read it. It's a standalone. I read it on my flight home and I read like most of it. And then I finished it while I was at home. And I was like, oh, this was actually really good. Like this was really good. Like for an indie, I was like, damn, because there's so much indie romantasy and a lot of
Sure.
it is not great. Um, and then I made the video about it, whatever. I posted it, and then I saw her. So I can't take credit for this. I would love to say it was me, but she did 10 million Kindle pages read in the first month.
That's a lot.
That's insane. That is,
That's a
I'm getting a
lot.
massive deal from trad numbers.
Yes, you are. I don't know.
uh,
Like, I have a lot of indies that I want to read right now that I know I'm gonna like, but I think the thing is, it's becoming really difficult for me to commit to really long indie series. Like, it's just there's so many that are great, but they're just so long, and it's like I just have so many other things that I feel like I have to catch up on that I just want to read naturally. That
mhm.
it's difficult for me to commit. And like a book one, a standalone, easy. But like
Yep.
some of these books is like they're like 10 books long. And I'm like, I really
Yeah.
want to read it, but if I really like it, it's gonna screw me over because I'm never gonna finish it.
Do do you base at least part of your reads on content?
No, not necessarily. Not I don't like read books because of content. I will jump on the hype train like I'm literally doing right now and reading the next Dungeon Crawler
Yeah.
Carl book, but it's like, no, I really want to read this. The thing is, I don't it's like when I really want to read an indie book, it's such a different experience to me, and that's just
Hmm.
that's the river of doubt, frankly. On the
Yeah.
right of the river of doubt is I know for a fact that somebody does this professionally and somebody else is editing this professionally. So there is at least a bar that's different versus indie and even self-publishing. You have no idea, and that's why I don't ask a lot of questions, but I do ask about like my two questions that I always ask are what's your editing process like? And I want to know everything about it. And was AI used in anything? Because a couple
Hmm.
people sent me some weird AI, some books where they used AI for the chapter title, just like designs, and I was like, that's no, I don't want to read it anymore. Like that's weird.
Yeah.
For the
It's
chapter title art, like you couldn't just put a one. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, I mean, just don't do chapter title art. Like, of all the places to save the money by not hiring an artist, like,
That's a good chapter title. You couldn't
yeah,
do that. You couldn't do that?
Anyways, that's wild to me. Yeah, so like in my experience, indie's very funny. So again, I was so disconnected. I didn't know indie was like a thing, right? I had
Yeah,
no
I
idea.
I didn't either.
And then somebody suggested my first two exposures to indie were really good. One
Mine
that I
mine were
still am
not.
surprised. I'm sorry.
Mine were really
Well, it
bad.
it kind of actually it screwed me up because I expected everything to be like that, and it was very quickly apparent that that is not always the case. But it one of them was Discovery by J.J. Minton, Talking Story. If you have not read that, by the way, dude,
I
it
haven't.
is like it's like Howling Dark, like the last third, mixed with like I don't even know how to describe it because it's just so unique
Mhm.
and wild and like I don't know what genre to call it. It goes from like you're in like 1992 and like there's a discovery made to like space cosmic horror.
It sounds cool.
I have so much trouble explaining that book because it's just one of those books where it's just so good.
No, I get
Um,
it. With
they have a
indie.
full narration cast on their audiobook too.
Oh
Like I
wow.
think
See,
five or
that'll
six
sell
people
me.
through Podium. They did it with Podium. It's I want to say like five or there's I think four or five POVs and each one is voice acted.
That's cool. I like that. I
Yeah.
mean, that'll sell me. Now that I that's another thing. Like now that I immersive read, it's so difficult to indie read. So I'll try to do like the text to speech stuff on Bookwise, which helps a little
Yep.
bit, but it's not the
I've been using
same.
that a lot.
It's great, but it's still not the same. Like it
I
is
mean,
an
I did it with
unfortunate.
Kindle like for a lot of stuff. So NetGalley screws you on that, by the way, just so you know.
Oh,
I
I
don't know
know
if you've
because
run into this. I was so
you
mad.
can't download it.
Well, no, not even like I tried to do it in Kindle. I was like, oh, whatever, I'll suffer and just use the Kindle robot TTS voice and whatever.
Yeah,
And I was just like, it wouldn't let me. I couldn't even use, I have a Kindle Scribe. I couldn't write on it.
that's crazy. See, I don't.
It's like a,
I'm never gonna fuck with NetGalley. I'm sorry. Like I don't
so
care.
I didn't apply. So sometimes I'll have a publisher reach out and they'll give you the EPUB, but it's like a direct like NetGalley link. And I was just like, oh, okay. And I didn't know this was a thing because I've just been using other stuff for so long now. And I was just like, oh my God, I haven't read a NetGalley book in forever. And look what happened. I can't do anything with it.
I'll never. I don't think I'll ever do NetGalley. Like, I don't really care about arcs, to be honest with you. Like, definitely not a thing. I didn't get on here. Like, it wasn't a big reason of mine to do content creation. I was like, oh, I want to get all these books because I know some people it is, and that's fine. But it's just for me. Unless I also have the audio, I'm probably not going to read it until release. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like it's cool if you send it to me early, but I probably still won't read it until
It
release.
stresses me the fuck out. I
It's
learned
too
real
much.
quick. Yeah.
It's too much.
I've bailed on a lot of them now, and I kind of not that I bailed, but it's just like I'm not doing it in like a timely fashion where I feel like I'm under a gun. There are a select few that I've like specifically wanted to read that I'm like good with, like Demon Star is one of them.
Yeah.
Um,
I really wanted to
but
read that too, but same thing. I'm like, I'm just gonna wait for the audiobook to come out.
yeah, I think that especially if you're like somebody that really values immersion, I think that book especially would probably be great as an immersion read.
Yep.
Um, but yeah,
I
it's
can't go back from it. Like I feel like I have to immersion read now. Like there's no other
uh,
option.
I see. I tend to split how I so I'll like listen to one, read one or two
Yeah,
at
I
the
don't do
same
that.
time.
I do one at a time. Cool. Just
I
locked in.
my FOMO and read speed is not fast enough for me to do that anymore. I've literally had to like I'll read four books at once because of the sheer fact that like I'm mood reading, but I'm too slow to actually mood read. So I have to just kind of juggle.
No,
Otherwise, I get
I
nothing
get
read.
it. I get it. Yeah, I that's my problem with starting like another big series is because like I know I'll want to really get into it, but then it's like everything else is just on pause for a while, and I'm like, man, I don't really want to start Realm of the Elderlings because then it's like I'm gonna want to read all 16 books like as quickly as I can, and that's gonna be kind of brutal.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing too is like, do you want to do? at some point I mean, you won't run out of content because you're a machine and you have like 82 scripts already written. So you could read the whole series and not make a new piece of content and you'd probably be fine. But,
I
well, you
mean,
know what I mean? Like write out a new piece of content.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, to be fair, probably.
well, cause that's what I was thinking of. Cause like somebody like me, I'd be like, well, how the fuck am I going to make 16 books worth of content out of Realm of the Elderlings? Like, that's my first thought. I'm like, I can't do that.
Oh,
Um,
I don't do that anymore. I don't do like
yeah,
reviews of every book in the series anymore.
no, I'm
Uh,
a first book
I
person, maybe last.
First book, if it's a trilogy, then I'm doing first book and total trilogy. If it's a long series, I might do an individual book review. But like
Mm.
Farseer's Realm of the Elements perfect because I can just give a 3 book. I can give it just 3 book, 3 book,
Well,
3 book, 3 book every time and be done.
and you can stop too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not. I don't know. I say that as I've been reading Red Rising for over a year now. Um, but that's because like I waited so long to read Iron Gold, and I don't count it. It's like Realm of the Elderlings. Like technically, you can split it, and it's fine. Um,
I get
I
you,
don't
but
know.
I like to binge series as much as I can. Like
I
I finished Red
used
Rising
to.
in like 6 weeks, and that was like when I first started reading again. And like same thing, like a
Yeah.
trilogy. I'm gonna try to finish that trilogy like this week.
Yeah. I mean, it's. I don't know. I really want to read. So I want to finish Lightbringer. I was trying to like push it until Red God got a date, but
It's gonna be forever, dude. You're gonna be waiting
yeah.
a long
I mean,
time.
I got no hate for it. Like I think his quote is perfect. I always joke about that. I'm like, I want it good, so I don't give a shit as long as you
Oh
don't,
yeah, I don't care either. But it's just that's why I haven't. That's the only book series I'm even gonna try to reread is gonna be that. I'll reread it when
Yeah.
that book gets announced. But I don't care if it doesn't come out for 2 years at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I yeah, that one Sanderson is like the one like I'm gonna start it probably in June-ish, maybe
Good.
July. I'm just trying to I'm like literally in my head because I do want to start it. I want to do Mistborn like at least the first three. Um
They're okay. They're a good start for sure, though.
it's I want to do them so I can like jump to Warbird. I gotta rewatch your video and like decide what the Golden Path is like for me. Because
It's a
like
good video. It's a good
yeah,
video.
it's
You,
I
I think.
started it and I was like, all right, I know it starts at Mistborn, and I was like, I'm just gonna pause because I'm so indecisive that I'm gonna hear like, well, technically, I mean, I don't know if you say this, but I'm like, Ben's gonna be like, well, technically, you can read Warbreaker here or here, and I'm gonna be like, well, fuck.
I guess to be fair, yeah, I do kind of say some stuff like that. But to start, pretty straightforward. Pretty
Yeah.
straightforward. I mean,
How
listen,
does that man produce so much?
When I was doing the Cosmere, I had like a YouTube video that I would save and I would just watch like one at a time, like one little snippet at a
Yeah.
time. So
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those series where the other problem with it is like I don't want to fuck if I fucking hate it, I'm gonna be so mad. It's gonna make for great content,
oh, dude,
but
Mistborn haters or Mistborn lovers that see somebody who doesn't like a Mist, it's like it's gonna do well. Your post is gonna do well that day, but you're not gonna like your comment section.
yeah,
You're
I don't
not.
know.
You're not.
It's
Every single time I go, Mistborn is a 3-star series. People want to eviscerate me.
people get so I made that video the other day about like toxic passion. Like when your passion becomes toxic, it's a problem. Um but that's part of the reason I don't want to read it. And like I've made other videos like that. It's very funny. I think I almost do your series thing, not series, but like similar idea thing without even realizing I do it. Now that I'm thinking, now that you've said it, it's in my head and I'm like running through my content as we're talking. Um, but yeah, like that one, fandoms. It's always fun. I've noticed too. Like, do you ever think about when you're doing these, like so like the video game one is a great example because it's obviously cross genre. Like it's not just books.
Yeah.
You're gonna get like both sides of it. Do you think about like how you can make them more broad, like less honed into the niche of books, but still book related, where like they can spread?
I think of it, so here's how I'll not rephrase it, but reframe the answer because what I more so do when I'm trying to make content is I am not making content for my existing following. That's why it's like make the same stuff and try it again because look, like for what I do for work, we do a lot of the same things where we literally do the same thing twice, change a little tiny thing, and you don't see it on the back. You know what I mean? It's more
A/B testing.
inconspicuous. Yeah, it's more inconspicuous, but it's the same thing with content creation where it's like I'm making content because I want to keep going more broad and I want to keep
Hmm.
reaching more people. So yeah, I do think about that a lot when I try to think of my recommendations for like I'm very aware of what I think an easy book is going to be someone's hard book and sometimes vice versa. So it's like I try to be a little bit more digestible in that regard and I'm not just like diving into like the deepest niche possible and expecting that to be like my thing, you know?
Hmm. Yeah, I agree. I think like the reason it made me think of it was like the fandom video, right? So like the one thing I've noticed with those, I've done like two or three of like similar adjacent content to them. But the consistent thing is always I will get several comments that it's not just books. It's the fandom for this video game. It's the fandom for this anime
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
movie. And I'm like, okay, these are the pieces of content that tend to do well. Like
Yeah,
they'll
because it's
go
everybody.
wider.
It's for everybody. Yeah.
And like I don't have a good secret algorithm sauce, right? Like nobody actually knows unless you work at Instagram, what the algorithm's doing, how it's pushing. But
No.
I think you can get enough out of it if you're a data person, like we've talked about this, where like the skip rate has to be below at least some kind of a threshold. If it's not, then other factors need to be hitting for it to go. But
I don't look at my skip rate anymore.
yeah, I think it's kind of stupid, but if it gets over, I have noticed I've had a few recently that have gone higher and those videos went wider. And I was just like, okay, I'm totally writing this off almost at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's engagement. So I think it's interesting when you said, but because you say like you're making the content for non-followers, right? New followers, people net new.
Yep.
Um, but your videos kind of rely on your existing following,
A little
right?
bit.
Because
So there's existing following to engage, but it's more so
yeah.
like I am making stuff, not every video, but it's just like a good amount of them, like especially the carousels. I would say that's the easiest way to split it for me. I
Hmm.
do legitimately view my video content as more of my like for my follower stuff because it's like this is typically a little bit better edited. It's more of like my personal thoughts unfiltered versus the carousel stuff. I have just realized that like when you post a carousel on any of the apps, it's just your picture may or may not even show up, and it's just people are not even looking. And so you are now a Reddit thread. You are not a human being, and that's how
Yeah.
you get treated a lot of times. And I just decided to lean into that and say,
Mm.
I'm making my carousels for everyone else except for my current followers. And that typically is also an indicator of, like you were saying, a video doing really well. If I start seeing a lot of people who don't follow me or have never followed me before leave a comment, then that's typically a video that's going to do well. Versus if I have a video that's only my followers commenting, it means that it got tripped up and was never pushed out. Both
Yeah.
are totally fine with me, but that's definitely an indicator.
Yeah. It's early engagement is huge, and then early non-follower engagement is what will determine if it's going to pop for sure.
I
Um,
like to see the explore. Like to me, if your video is going to do really crazy, it's going to be the explore page.
yep. The Reels tab is good, but the Explore page is where, like, if that
The
Explore
explore
page hits
page is
5% for
wild.
me, which is insane to say this, but like, if I'm between 3 and 5%, I know the video is going to do well.
Sure. Yeah, I mean definitely. But like I had an explore page that was like 95% of my views and I was like that was nuts. That was my
Damn, I don't
craziest
even think
post I've
my
ever done.
Romantasy reel went anywhere near that. That's wild.
Well, to be fair, 95% is at the time of following, so it was like I had 3,000 followers.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Still
yeah, yeah.
95% of views coming from explore is wild. I feel like I'm still chasing that high.
Yeah, I've only had like one or two videos have that happen. What I don't like about the algorithm, or not the algorithm. Well, I don't like anything about the algorithm because I don't know how it works. But what I don't like is the profile statistic is not just your profile.
What do you mean profile statistic? Like in the
So
post itself?
yeah, so if like you're
If,
looking at
oh,
the
because
analytics,
if you tag somebody, that'll count as follows. Is that what you're
well,
talking about?
no. So if it's collab, it does work that way, but I think it's also repost show as that. So like if you repost my video and somebody views it like from your profile or feed, I'm fucking this up. Feed. I don't like feed.
Mhm.
because feed isn't an indicator of just my following. Feed is
No,
an
that's not
indicator
true.
of everybody that I thought it was.
No, some of my best posts have been still mostly feed. Feed no, those things have almost nothing to do with each other in the terms of like, so they're inventory sources. So like your story is
Uh,
one separate ecosystem. Your feed is an entirely different ecosystem, and the explore page is just curated content. So very hard to
okay.
get onto explore,
Yeah.
but you can still get onto feed pretty well. Like I've still had some of my best posts ever just
Oh,
be
see,
mostly feed.
I thought feed was yeah, but I thought feed was like just your followers feed as they scrolled. So it's
It's
just the
the
the general
feed in
feed.
general. If you've ever scrolled out of your following before, there'll be suggested posts,
Yeah.
and that's basically what that is. And those are
Huh?
huge.
Interesting.
Gray was asking if we believe in certain times perform better than others. I don't think any one time is better than another. I think
Oh,
posting consistently at the same time works because I think I view it as like a TV show. Like I just kind of noticed I try to post, excuse me, at a certain time every day because you know what, I'm also a little paranoid, so that's OCD talking. But I just think it works. Like people get on their phone, it's 10:30, bam, his video is up or something. Like
yeah.
I think it works
Uh,
that way. I think people are creatures of habit. They're going to check their phone at the same time every single time, and if you keep doing that, you're going to find that that's going to be your cycle, your system.
I feel very similar. I don't think there's a golden time to post. If it's good content, it's gonna go.
Oh,
I think
100%. You
it's
could
gonna.
post it
You
in the
know what I
middle of
mean?
the night. You can post it
Yeah.
in the middle of the night.
It was very funny. Smitty made a when he reviewed. I don't remember. Oh, it was Daggermouth. When he reviewed Daggermouth, it was like 11:30 at night. Like he never posts late, right? And he was like, I had to get on here. Like this is how good this book was. Blah blah blah, right? And people were in the comments talking about like, oh, I can't believe you're posting. He's like, dude, I would have posted at 2 o'clock in the morning. He's like, I don't give a shit what time I post.
It's
And I was like,
true though.
it's so right. I
It's true.
superstitiously post between 1 to 3 most days, just
I do too.
because
I do too. I do. A superstition is a good word for it.
yeah, it's just the time that honestly it's more convenience than superstition. I think it's like usually I film in the morning and then I edit, during the day and then I post the video. I struggle to batch content because I struggle to think far enough out to batch
I was going
content.
to
Like
ask you if you batch content because I bat that I might be the king of the batch, frankly. I had
I
enough.
I would
I
love
batched
to.
enough videos to last me 6.5 weeks,
I
and I
remember, yeah, you
and I
saying that.
and I still have 2 videos left.
I
That's
mean,
sick.
I
That's like
might
sick numbers right there, honestly.
I might try to see. The problem is like a lot of my reels come from, so it's like current things happening that I see.
No, I get it.
What I've noticed more though, so it kind of is that, but it's I'll leave a comment on somebody's video talking about something, whether it be like yours, Alicia's, something, right? Where like I feel really passionately and I get like you people have seen my comments, they can go from like a sentence or two, and then sometimes I'll leave you 2 paragraphs, which Instagram let me hit the return key on Android so that it's not a big block of text. But I'll leave the comment and then I don't know what it'll be. Like I'll hit it and then I'm like, oh, this would make a great fucking video. And then I try to like figure out how do I frame this in a way that it's like more broad, not completely specific to the topic. But it's just my inspiration for content tends to not conducive to batching.
No, the thing is, I think that's the best way to do it, frankly, because it's very relevant.
Yeah.
I think it's just a depend. That's why there's so many rooms for
Yeah.
people to get into and like have a good time, and like this is my little room, and room is the best way to put it because like the internet is gigantic. So like both of our followings might be like around the same number, but it could be completely different people. We might have like 6 people out that are the same because the rooms are
Mm,
different. It's like we might have a window that looks in at each other sometimes in terms of like
yeah.
following, but overall, like it depends. If you want somebody who has like me that's like batching everything, but it's not going to be super relevant, that's great. But then there's going to be people who would rather something that is super relevant that's going to hit right now, which like sometimes it bites me in the ass because like I mean I didn't have a choice in this matter because I
Well,
read
yeah.
Hush Miss Cerulean Sea when I was injured, So I had to, but I only was just able to record my thing. But like my whole script for my video is kind of like shitting on that girl who was talking crap about House of Cerulean Sea. Did you
Oh,
not see
I
that?
forgot about that. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That's
So
been
so if I posted
cultural
that
relevance.
then,
It was
yeah, if I
only like a
posted
week and a half, 2 weeks ago, but still.
yeah, if I posted it then, it would be much better. I'm gonna post it now, and people
Yeah.
are like, what the fuck, what does conviction mean? You know?
Alicia wants to know what she should post next. I think she should yell at all male readers again for not reading.
Yeah, something like that.
But I don't want it to be the female author things, Alicia. Like I think that at this point, like everybody's reading female authors. Like you've done your job. We're gonna move on. I'm totally kidding. But what I do think, I first of all, I love those
Yeah.
because I get called all the nice things in those videos. I get to like, but I'm not gonna lie, Alicia. Even I felt like your delivery on that video, even I questioned myself. And I was like, I literally went on to my like Goodreads and like whatever and was like, am I not reading enough female authors? And I'm like, what the fuck am I talking about? I was like, if anything, it's the reverse for me. Like, I'm not picking
Sure.
up enough male authors. But
I
I
get
just
really
laughed.
weird comments like that, so I get it. Like I got one today because I posted an indie author list written by women, and some guy goes, "Thanks for the list. Now I know what to avoid." And I was like, "Damn, that's
The
crazy."
the
You know what
incel culture on
you
the
know what's
internet is
wild
wild.
though? His bio says F feminism, F AI, and I was like, "How did you get half of it right? Like, how did you get the AI thing,
Yeah.
but you missed it?" Like
People
that's
are
what that is the incel thing because it's like, how did you get the right answer to one thing, but like you got the it's like the opposite end. You know what I mean? Like, how
yeah.
did you do that? It doesn't make sense to me.
It I don't know, it always makes me laugh. So and then again, like it's very funny though, because I make these videos all the time and I 1%, 1% of that comment. Yeah, 1% of my comments are probably bad. Like
Yeah,
genuinely bad.
to be
There's
fair,
been a
yeah,
few where yeah, but I'm saying like on like even that romantasy one that exploded, like majority. I still to this day, like every once in a blue moon, I'll get like the troll guy, and most of the time, by the time I've even read it, 15 people have yelled at them, and I'm like, all right, cool, I don't gotta do
that's
anything.
funny. See,
I pin those comments though.
you pin the shitty comments.
Depending, so if it's like just blatant, like you're just being a piece of shit, like that guy, I wouldn't pin that. But like if somebody's like trying to make a point out
Sure,
of why they're a piece of shit, and I'm just like, really? I'm
that's
like the
actually
guy
really
from
funny.
whatever that does the hot dog meme. What's his name? He wears the hot dog suit. Why can't I think of the Netflix show? He God,
I
it's
don't
gonna
know.
bother me. I can't look it up because I'm on my phone. Uh
That's funny.
it's the guy. He does the whatever. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's gonna bother the shit out of me, but it doesn't matter. But no, it's that kind of shit where if I'm like sitting there and I'm like, are you really actually trying to fucking make this logically make sense? Like, no way. I'm pinning that because I'm gonna let everybody see. I get
Sure,
blocked most of the time because
I
people
thought you
want to
meant
make their
for the
shitty comment and dive under the radar. And then I pin your shitty comment to the top, and every single person opening the comment sees it. And now everybody is yelling at you in the replies, and I just laugh. And then I get
that's
no.
kind of
Usually
funny.
it's like user or whatever, and I'm like, oh, they blocked me.
That's funny.
Uh,
See, I get like
Same, Alicia.
one of my first big posts was my meme of like Red Rising, and people made me feel so stupid. Like it's just like the
The
nastiest comments. They were like, "Are you dumb? You don't know how this works?" And I was like, "Oh, it's a joke. I'm jumping around and you know what I
uh,
mean, doing stupid shit. Like clearly this is a joke." And it was just like one after the other. People love to just slam dunk on me, and it's like wild because I am not the person to do that to because I will talk a lot of shit back and I will risk getting a ban for sure.
uh, I Ben, you like Red Rising?
Yeah,
Um,
right.
I thought you were talking about the video where you did the flip on the pew pew meme of people breaking into your house, but you did it with the razor. I say pew pew because the the one where you ran around with the razor, it was like
Yeah, no, that was fine.
no,
That was
I
fine.
liked
Not
that one,
that
but
one.
that was what I thought you were talking about at first. I was like, that real got hate. I was like, how?
No, 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 no. You'd be surprised.
Oh
You'd be
yeah.
surprised. People go on my. You know what? I've had to start just blocking people. Like if I respond, I'm gonna get in trouble. So I just block them. Or you know what? Instagram is the best because you just restrict them, and they have no idea what that is.
Oh, that's my favorite thing. I've
It's the
only done
best
it to
thing.
like two people, but I had like this weird. I did get one weirdo who like followed me and then commented on like 8 videos about how like I was dumb because I read the dribble that was not classic literature written in 1700 or whatever, and I was just like, I don't want to block this person because I want them to continue to be annoyed, but I'm going to restrict
Same,
them so nobody else has to deal with it.
same. There are people who will follow me and be like say the nastiest shit, and then I restrict them, and it's like, what are you doing? Like, what's wrong? Like, there's something genuinely wrong
I, I don't
with you
care
at that
enough.
point.
I don't care enough about anything you're saying on the internet for me to stop my day, open your comment section and be like, I think you suck. Like, I'm just moving on. I don't care.
If you really piss me off, I'm gonna go comment something mean on your video, and you're not gonna like it. You're
Well,
not
that's if
gonna
they
like
have
it.
videos. That's the other thing. Like, a
No,
lot
you're
of the,
not wrong. Most of the time they don't.
yeah,
They're just like an egg
it's,
profile.
oh, the eggs. I miss the egg profile. Maybe I'll change my profile picture. I really fuck with everybody. Just make it an egg. Anyways, so I guess my only other content related question for you is so you miss out on the bat or you can kind of miss out on the relevance sometimes if you batch too much, but I think outside of the current situation that put you where you were where you had no choice but to batch, like I think batching can work because you can still feed a video. You know what I mean? Like you see something relevant that you want to talk about in the moment, you can say, well, screw it, I'm not going to do this video today. I guess the only thing I would ask is like, would you shift one of those like Tuesday is this video for something more relevant?
Yeah, I don't have anything that serious like that. I think again, I think for one, like I will always batch film just because like I value my free time a lot. So
Yeah.
I'll set aside like so I can do like 7 videos in about 3 hours of filming, like with a little bit of breaks or something.
Yeah, it's
And
not bad.
that's I can do that on like a Saturday, and that gives me enough content for pretty much a week and a half because I'll still do a carousel or two throughout the week. So it just piles up. And so what I do is I end up planning it similar to how I do it at work, where I call it evergreen content, content that
Hmm.
will work virtually no matter what. So like a great example, you're going to see me post like these are my favorite audio and immersive book reads. That's probably going to come out next week, right? That was filmed like many weeks ago, but it's always going to be relevant. People are always
Yeah.
going to want to talk to just know about like good audiobooks, right? But then yes, I will trade some of the day. I don't have like a day where I post this per se. I do more lately just because it's just been working. So it's like why, it's not, there's no reason to test. If it's working,
Yeah.
it's working. You're not going to get better on a different day. So point being, yeah, I'll do that and I'll try to record something that's more relevant. I think especially my reviews, I try at least to get the review out within the next week.
Yeah, well, especially like I think the newer books, like you don't want to miss. Not that you don't want to miss. That's kind of pedantic. The one good thing about books is like I could review fucking Mistborn, whenever, and
Whenever
it's gonna
I could
go.
review Throne of Glass whenever and it's gonna
Yeah,
go.
exactly.
Like
Yeah, 100%. There's definitely those books like Red Rising. I would even argue Sun Eater to an extent. I think it's a little more niche down as much as I love it, but
I feel like it's definitely it's died down for sure.
yeah, I mean the
Like
hype
it's
is
still gonna do
shadows
well.
upon time.
Yeah, it's still gonna do well, but I feel like now that it's not
No,
out anymore, I'm seeing a lot less posts like do well talking about it.
November when Tales of the Sun Eater comes out. It'll be
Oh,
that
for
revamp.
sure. For sure.
Um,
And around that same time, his new book's coming out like a couple months after that in the
oh
spring of
yeah, the
2027.
fantasy
So
book is gonna be
I think that's gonna be crazy. I had a lot of good talks with him about that. I feel like that's gonna
same.
be nuts.
I love that man. He could write a fucking how to start your lawnmower manual and I'd read it.
See, I
Uh,
couldn't because he'd be like, you gotta first you start by grabbing the handle, and then next thing you know, somebody's doing the
yeah,
Jesus cross, and you're like, how
he's
did we get
he's
to that?
somehow the lawnmower oil dipstick is now a philosophical
Now
meaning for
you're
the lifeblood of everything.
yeah, oops, I accidentally mowed a cross into my lawn. You're like, what?
Played it.
But yeah, I do love the way he writes. I think he writes more fantasy than sci-fi,
Ooh.
frankly. And I told him, I was like, I feel like the way that you write, especially because we had a good talk specifically about his inspirations, which are
Hmm.
cool because I picked them up. Actually, I have it right here. So it's actually inspired by Aeschylus. So I'm gonna read these before they come out. They're considered like it's like the first Greek tragedies.
Yeah, he did talk a lot about that. So I went to he was in conversation with Cahill when he was in Brooklyn, the one that TD did for the moderation, where he did Fantasy Feud, I think he called it or something, and it was some funny shit because they didn't know what Family Feud was, either of them, so which made
Mm-hmm.
it hysterical.
Mm-hmm.
But he was talking with Ryan, and then he was bringing up a part of the Iliad that was like an inspiration for something, and Ryan was just looking at him because he didn't specify the Iliad. He named like a part, and he's like, "I hate that we're in this room where majority of the people have no idea what I'm talking about." He's like, "That is disgusting," and I was like, "I love this man."
It's true.
He's got that perfect dry humor too. Like it's that
He does. He
you
does.
almost question if he's being serious. Like you're like, is he being funny or is
No,
he
he's
dead
cool.
serious? Yeah,
It's like I'm agnostic, so like I don't appreciate being preached at a lot. Like
yeah,
I'm very sensitive to that topic, and that's probably why I say all the time I have the biggest love hate relationship with that series because it's
yeah.
like I think as a whole the series is fucking awesome, but there are just some real egregious pieces where I'm like, did you really just say that shit? Like, what's wrong with you? You know what I
It
mean?
gets
So
it is definitely like there's definitely a heavy like emphasis on theology in that book, or not in that book, but like especially the latter half of the series.
well, it's interesting
Um,
because he was agnostic when he first started writing it and then converted. Now he's like
yeah,
very staunchly Catholic. And the thing is, I
yeah,
respect it because he's not a hypocrite with it. He's like somebody who's just very passionate
yeah,
about what he believes in. And you know what? I think it's fine to read somebody else's opinion sometimes,
yeah.
especially
I
in the context of a big old fake. You know what I like to say? If you want to put all that shit in a fantasy series, then guess what? I get to say it's not real too.
yeah, I I like that. That's perfect. You know what it is? I think I don't really have any like strong beliefs on any of it, but I thought the one thing I appreciated, I guess, about it is that it didn't it didn't take away from anything. It was a little much sometimes, even for
Yeah,
me,
you're not
but
wrong. Like it fit in the story.
yeah, it didn't take away anything, and I did kind of find it funny that the I don't want to spoil anything, but like the main thing you would think was the driver is actually the thing that they kind of say is not real. I thought that was funny. Like what Eduardo believes is like I would assume, most parallel, I think.
Yeah.
But they were like, "No, you're wrong." And I was just like
I thought that was kind of funny.
I don't really follow what the math is here, but we're gonna go. Um,
Yeah, no, I get it.
but
No, but point being, like, I think the way that he wrote that series, it's going to translate into dark fantasy so
oh my
well.
God,
The way
it's
that
gonna be
he writes
crazy.
too is so classical. Like, I think it's going to feel so like immersive. I think he's going to nail it. And also, like,
Yeah.
I've been reading about some of the tragedies that happen in this book. I was just kind of doing an overview because I was like, do I have to read all of them? Can I read pieces of them? Whatever, whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's awful. Like there's a story about a guy who like wins the war, comes home, and then his wife kills him in bed the night of his victory, and you're like, what? So like, yeah,
Yeah.
I think we're gonna get some really twisted stuff. Like that was written thousands of years ago. Now imagining him modernizing it, I'm sure
Oof.
that's going to be a good plot point.
Especially the way he writes, like the philosophical pieces of it. You know what I'm excited for him not to be in a frame narrative, to see how he handles it. Well, actually, I say that
Sure.
I don't know if it's not a frame narrative.
Yeah, you don't know that. I don't
Yeah,
think it is going to be frame narrative though. I'm pretty
I don't
sure he
think so
said it's
either.
going to be
But
first. I think he said it's going to be first POV, and
okay,
it's not going to be a frame narrative. But I don't remember, and who knows because it's not finished yet. So,
yeah, I
no, I'm excited for that. That's good. That's a huge one for me. I definitely find myself really missing the Sun Eater series for sure.
yeah,
There's
same.
definitely a piece of that, and I think that's also why I've been procrastinating reading Realm of the Elderlings because I know I'm going to feel similarly. Like people always tell me, like
Well,
Hadrian and Fitz are super similar.
yeah, people tell me like because of how I like what I take away and like about reading, like Realm of the Elderlings is going to be brutally great for me, and I'm just like that's part of why I don't want to read because I'm afraid that I'm going to read it and then I'm only going to read it.
That's where I'm at. That's what I'm like. Fuck, I got to read. So I was supposed, like I said, I was supposed to start at the beginning of May, but now I'm like, I really have to read the Dungeon Crawler Carl book because for one,
Yeah.
it is like we talked about before. It's a mixture of I really want to read it and the content is very relevant right now.
Yep.
So it's like I've got two very positive factors making me want to read it, and then I have my book club book for in person because I can't skip that. I have to come up with questions for the book. So it's like fuck, I might not start this until the end of the month.
Yeah. I don't know. So like DCC, I still have to read 7. So I'm all the way through 7.
I loved seven.
Um, I love that series. Like, love it. Love it. Jeff Hayes is incredible. Dinniman is incredible. Like everything they've done with that series is great. Um, my hold up, it wasn't even a hold up. It's just like I was flying through it. And then I got up to like 5. I did like a book or two, and then I got to 6 and I loved it. But then it was right around the time where like content really started to pick up, and I was like, all right, I want to shift and do other things. And then it was like, oh, I've shifted and got this, that, and now I'm like, well, shit, I'm in the middle of like 8 fucking things, and I don't have time to pick this up. Like, not that I
Yeah.
don't have time, but I want to read it so much, but I don't really have like a content mind for it. It's one of those ones I don't know if I'll ever even do a review on it because I just like them, and I read a lot of stuff that I don't talk about on here just
Yeah.
because,
Yeah.
which seems counterintuitive for book content, but
I
like
understand it. I get it.
sometimes it's hard. Like I don't have anything like spectacular to say about a book. Like I like it, but I can't make it unique. I don't like to do reviews unless I can make the review unique. Like if I like the same thing everybody else liked and I like those are my takeaways, I'm just kind of like,
I'll counter that with like whatever you say about it is unique. It doesn't matter if it's
yeah,
because like I just I guess philosophy wise like every story in human history has been told and retold
yeah,
over and everything is either Shakespeare, old Greek tragedy, like Dante's, you know what I mean? Those things are going to be retold. So it's the same
yeah,
thing with like how you feel about a book. Guess what? You probably feel the same about it because they might have just copied a lot of shit from like
yeah,
fucking Romeo and Juliet or some shit. I don't know. Point being, like whatever you have to say is unique. You definitely should say
yeah,
it, but I also get it from a content perspective. Like my reviews don't do well when I jump out of sci-fi and fantasy that often. Like they just don't.
yeah. It's funny. I review content is weird. Like I get a lot of like reviews are fucking dead. You can't do
They
review
they
content.
are dead to be fair, but I'm just doing it for me at that point,
I don't know,
frankly.
man. I did that fucking Daggermouth review. That thing got almost 100K views.
Well, I think
Like,
it depends. Like I've had
well,
some
it's
good reviews,
relevance
but then
for
I've had some
sure,
like
but
whoa. Like I think my heated rivalry review was like the one of the worst ones I've ever posted.
well, I that's another one I think that was a cultural relevance review that I
Yeah,
think
but I
was a little
posted it in the
behind.
middle of it being oh
Did
me.
you?
I posted it in the when the TV show was coming out.
Oh yeah, you did. You're right. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, but it's not my audience. Like it's just not.
Yeah. It's I don't know. It's weird. Like I've had reviews that I didn't expect to do well. And then like ones where like I sat and I thought about but it's stupid shit I notice. Like I analyze videos that do poorly way more than I do the
Sure,
ones that do well.
I started that way. I still do that, but I'm definitely more so in the gear. It's very good, positive mentally. I do the other thing, other way around. And you know what? I don't even try to give that much thought into it. I go, okay, if this
Mm,
concept worked, I'm gonna see what pieces I can repeat, typically a hook, and then just
yeah.
make a whole nother video on it. Because the thing with bad videos, the only thing you need to know is that it didn't work, and just okay, just don't do it again. Like, but to say that same point, like our own hubris gets in the way all the time. I was so proud of that reward video. The little like these are what the book awards are. It it did fine, but it was like, man, I really thought this was going to be really good. You know what I mean? And it did not do very well on TikTok either. And I was like, okay, back to not knowing what I'm talking about again.
Now, so my intro video, this will be the one I will die on the bitter hill over. The intro video for this series, I was like, I have the fucking best idea. It's gonna go dumb viral, all this shit, right? And I stood in the shower fully fucking clothed and did my pitch, but I did it way too late into the video. And like I know it now why it didn't work,
Mhm.
but I'm just like, fuck, man. It makes me so mad because it was such like it was like a perfect like I filmed it, me talking to the camera, but in the mirror. Like, I was like, I'm so fucking smart. This is such a highly produced video. I'm fully clothed like an asshole in the shower in my house with my wife yelling at me, like, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, no, this is going to be worth it. And it did nothing.
You know what? Same philosophy applied to why I ask a lot of questions of indie authors because if you tell me that I wrote a book and I edited it myself, no, thank you.
Yep.
I don't, you know what? Everybody thinks their shit don't stink. It's just a
Yep.
natural part. And what you think works really well, a lot of the times, terrible idea. Terrible idea.
Shouldn't have been fully clothed. That's
Yeah,
actually
terrible
the
idea. You probably
perfect
shouldn't
point.
have been. You shouldn't have
I
been.
should have just been
But
naked in the shower.
like that's why
Uh,
editing is so important. Like just
yeah.
having one other person be like, okay, I get what you're going for, but not good. You know what I mean? Like we need a little
It's,
bit less hubris in that regard. And but as a content creator, it's impossible not to because I'm not going to send my script to somebody ahead of time to review
yeah.
it
So
either.
it's not even so much. So the script, I've done it with videos here and there early. I don't do it anymore because it's just too hard to know. You know what I mean? Like, even as somebody, like, you could send me a video and I'm going to look at it and be like, oh, I think this is going to do really well. But I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I can't compare my, well, like, what works for me, what works for you. Like, yeah, is there overlap? Of course. But, you know, we all have our own communities, and that community kind of drives where we get pushed. You know what I mean? Like, even if it's broad, but they're looking for, from what, all the gods say about Instagram, the Instagram gods, like, they're pushing your content to authentic, or they're pushing authentic content, and they're trying to find a place for it, like a place where it feels
Oh,
like it's going to
exactly.
stick and land.
It
So,
doesn't
like,
want you to do poorly, you know? Like I
no,
think people
that's
have a
people get
really negative
nothing.
relationship with it because they're like, the algorithm hates me.
Oh, I
I'm
get
like,
so mad. I'm like,
no,
the algorithm
I
isn't
did that a
against
lot
you.
though. I did that a
uh
lot when I was early on because I was like, no, this is really good content. And I was in a really bad headspace because I was super comparative. I was like, why do I have more likes and shit on my shit and except I don't get as many views? Like I was getting really into that, but like, you know, I think it's
it's
a natural
easy.
pro. Yeah,
It's easy in the
very
beginning.
easy.
I got trapped in the same thing. I was looking at other people's content and I'm like, why is this blowing up? I'm making similar shit and mine's not blowing up. And, like, I very quickly found myself like a tiny, no, I don't even want to say a tiny bit bitter, but it's probably the best way to describe it. Like, I was a little bit
It
bitter. I
is.
was like,
I was bitter. I was envious for sure. It
you,
happens.
and then I stepped myself back and I'm like, why am I not even mad at people? That's not even fair to say. Like, I wouldn't be mad at people, but I was just kind of like, why am I feeling some type of way towards somebody who's not doing anything to me? And, like, it's just jealousy. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
that's what it is. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's easy to fall in that trap early, for sure. But I'm much happier now that I don't compare content to anything anymore,
I
mostly
still
because
do sometimes. It's toxic
it
trait for sure.
it's got to be very, very, very similar. You know what I mean? I think the only thing I actually tend to do it with, not that I make a lot of them, is list. Just because I'm like, why did my list video suck? And I'm like, what didn't I do right in this list video? I was like, I thought I listed these perfectly. And I'm
Yeah.
like, that's when I'll look. But outside of that, like, if it's my normal content,
Yeah.
I rarely do it anymore,
See,
just because it
people have
makes
been
me mad.
yeah, people have been stealing my shit a lot lately. So I don't have time. I'm trying my best not to like it sounds shitty, but I'm not trying to scroll as much as I used to because it's like it's
Yeah.
kind of annoying. I don't have that kind of ego that a lot of people do when they're like, "Oh, I made this video and nobody else can make it." But like some people just straight up one for one take the same thing, and I'm like, "Okay, that's pretty egregious." Like you could. I don't even want you to. Frankly, I don't even want you to tag me. It's like if I made a
Fuck.
cool
I gotta
listing,
I
don't
gotta go
tag me.
delete I gotta go delete my video game romantasy fucking, god damn it. um
No,
no,
but
I
like,
mean,
I think there's a
inspiration is
difference.
one thing. Yeah.
Yeah, or fucking just ask. I don't want to be credited. I don't want to get all your notifications, frankly. You're like, hey, I thought this was a good idea. Okay, yeah, do it. That's fine. It's a different story when somebody's just like, okay, I'm gonna do the same exact video as you, and you're like, what? Like the same thing, the same motions, the same things I said. It's like it's strange, you know? That's really weird.
Hmm. Yeah, it's, I don't know. It's I try to ignore it The only time I can ignore it, so I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to know if somebody's. I very rarely. I don't do enough. Like, not that my content's not unique, but I think it's in such a weird way that I deliver stuff that it's kind of hard to say like it's
Oh,
opinion content.
they're not gonna steal your shit. No, mine is super easy to like just one for one
Yeah.
copy. The thing is, I'm not searching it out, but people like the only reason I even think that somebody's copying me is because people will send it to me. And I'm like,
Oh,
why?
that's the worst. To be like,
I
oh,
was like,
dude, sick.
this is your post, isn't it? And I'm like, it sure does look like it.
Yeah. I think one time I was scrolling and I was like, that sounds familiar. And I was like, I was like, maybe I'm just in my own head. Because I think my problem is I'm so imposter syndrome coded that I'm like, there's no fucking way anybody's stealing any of the dumb shit that's coming out of my mouth.
I was like that for a while until it started becoming more regular that people would send me like posts from somebody else. I don't even know who this person is. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
they clearly saw my shit come across their feed and they were like, no shame. I'm just going to imitate it because it worked for somebody else. And you know what? I get it. Like the algorithm is the algorithm. It's the same application to like you should repost your own shit, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just kind of grubby when people like exactly take it, you know? A little
Yeah,
grubby.
I don't know. Like you said, the algorithm wants people on the platform. That's the algorithm's ultimate goal.
It
So,
doesn't want you to do bad. It's like we said
yeah.
earlier, you know, and that means that if somebody makes the same shit and you just put a different coat of paint on it, just like all of the Avengers movies, then
Yeah.
yeah, they're gonna like it. They're gonna go to this theater and they're gonna go to the same Marvel comic
It's
universe movie.
some of the best advice I ever got. Not that I implemented it, which is so fucking stupid, but I always like to share it because it's the truest thing. Like what you're saying is true, and like it's the truest thing about the algorithm. Like you talk about making unique content for new people, right? But creating the same content just in a different way that works. And what I was told by this creator who is incredibly like wildly platformed here. I don't like to name names only because I think that like certain things can be perceived the wrong way.
I understand.
Um, but it's I was talking about being well read enough, right? Like I talked about this earlier. I was worried about it. They were like, make the fucking list video with the same six fucking books 18 times.
No,
They're
really.
like, because your
Oh, really.
followers aren't going to give a shit. They're just going to scroll. But all of the people who has never seen one of your list is going to see this content. And I was like, that's fucking genius.
Someone commented on my post the other day. They were like, "Oh, I see you haven't run out of ways to talk about the same books again." And I go, and I comment, "Yep," with a little smiley face. I was like, "You're right, bitch. I'm never gonna stop coming up with stupid hooks to talk about the same four books.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
never gonna
I don't.
stop doing that shit because I love that shit. You know what I mean? I don't care.
Well, see,
The
so
well
I'm like
read.
similar to John's situation. Like, I'm not fucking well read enough to make 400 different lists.
Here's the thing. I'll tell you though. There's a whole community of people who already exist within a fandom of a book you haven't read, and
Yeah,
you can like shit. I do this all the time. Like these are books I'm about to read. People fucking they love that shit. So if you're like,
yeah,
these are book. I did it last year. I'm doing it again this year. These are books I'm going to read in the summer. These are
yeah,
books I'm going to read in the winter. These are
yeah.
like
TBR list.
easy. People like that. So I think to counter the I feel not well read enough thing.
Yeah.
Show people, hey, look, I'm reading this. Like
You,
that's a
you know
good
why I'm
community.
terrified of doing that? Is every time I've done anything TBR related, I don't read three-quarters of the shit that's on that list.
That's fine though. I don't
Yeah,
either. I don't make TBR videos anymore because for one, I don't think they do very well, and for two, yeah,
yeah,
I'm not following that shit either. I do a story post, and that's just because it's fun for me, and who cares? Because pretty pictures, right? But no, like
yeah.
I don't do that either. You know what? To that point, I said last year I made the same like summer seasonal video thing, and I said I'm gonna read the Bloodsworn Saga in winter. Do you know what I'm gonna do again this time?
I'm read the Bloodsworn Saga in
Yeah,
winter.
because I didn't fucking read it last winter.
Oh, I love that. I mean, it's
It's
so true.
true. I'm saying
Yeah,
it. I didn't say which winter. I'm saying it before.
I fucking mood read way too hard. I can't, which is hysterical because I have like a fucking stack of books that I have to read, and I'm just like,
I never want to
I'm gonna
have to read
keep
a book
pushing that
again.
up. Yeah, no, I won't. I won't do it
It sucks.
ever again. I tell like even when I get like like trad emails now, like from pub. I'm like, I don't know when I'm gonna read it. If you want to send it, be my guest. Like, here's my address. I'll take
I
it.
say that
But
shit too. I say that shit too. Like, okay, I'll read it. I'm not telling you when, no.
winter 2039. I do deny a lot now though, like
I do
completely
too.
flat out.
I do too. I have
I
to. I have to. It's just I don't even have space for shit anymore.
Well, that's
I
part of my
don't.
problem. The other problem is I've learned really quick that even if you're transparent and you're like, hey, I probably won't, I can't give you a date, maybe at some point because it does sound interesting, like that conversation. And then I'm getting a DM every 2 months asking me if and I'm like, fuck
Ah,
you. I'm like,
no, me too.
I'm like, give me the link to Amazon for your book so I can purchase it so that I can end this transactional piece.
Well, you know what I do now? I'm only accepting indie books that are submitted via EPUB, and that's it.
Well, yeah,
That's
I
it.
I agree
I
with that.
won't. I will,
But
and
even then,
I tell them if I like it, I'll buy it. If you want to send me you want to, if they're like really adamant, yeah, I want to send you a copy because they do know that like even just posting it on the story helps at
yeah.
all. Like any exposure helps.
Hmm.
But I don't have space for them, so it's the same shit. Like if they don't have audio, which makes it difficult, I'll do the
Yeah.
text to speech on Bookwise. So that's what I tell them because you know what, an EPUB costs you basically nothing to send me.
Yeah, it's
So
you're paying for the ISBN and the listing price for that, and that's it. And that pays for itself after X amount of sales. I
even if
personally,
that with certain EPUBs there is no ISBN like that.
oh, that's true. Yeah,
It's
like
just
if
a
it's
file.
yeah, if it's a homegrown, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a file. You know.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm in such a odd. I put myself in too much now where I'm like, man, I don't want to say yes to anything. Like there are specific people that would reach out to me, and it's like, yes, absolutely, send me your book. Like I will pick it up.
Yeah,
Within
same,
a time
same.
frame. But
I
those are
think
people
I
I've
need
built
to.
relationships with, and I've read their other stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The things that's been really difficult for me is like I told you, it's hard to commit to longer books, but it's also like I need to really mood read an indie because I'll get really sold on a book, and then if I don't pick it up, then it's like,
Yeah.
another one bites the dust.
Yeah, it's tough. I don't know. I don't ever want to put people out money wise. Like there's been plenty of where I'm like, no, don't send me a book. Like I appreciate the offer so much, especially like PR box stuff. I get like indie PR box reach outs. I'm
Me
like,
too. I tell them no.
no. I'm
I
like,
mean, it
I
might sound
I want it to go to someone that's gonna utilize it the way you
agree,
want it used. You know what I
agree.
mean?
I only say yes to products that I'll actually use. Like
Same.
this company, Fly City, they reached out to send me one of those rotating bookshelves. I was like, you know what? I want to make a bookshelf tour video. I'll just put it in there. That's
Yeah.
no sweat. But also,
What the
I've just
fuck?
been telling them like, I don't, unless you're gonna pay me, I don't want to do these things because, and you know
Yeah.
what? I use that as a barrier because I want them to say no because I don't really want to do
Yeah.
it.
It's I mean, yeah, it's the nice way of not having to say no.
It is. It's like, oh, I'm not doing free stuff at the moment. If you have a budget, then I'll consider it. And
yeah.
they typically don't. So it's like, it's kind of like a very polite way of saying, no, thank you. Without saying no,
Yeah,
thank you.
I've put my big boy pants on lately and I've gotten more direct because I'm just like because the problem is like if you don't directly say no, I've noticed very quickly like it's a constant follow up. It's like did like I've even had like paid offer where it's like is it the money that didn't align or the product? And I'm like, man, I'm just not looking to do this. Like I appreciate the offer.
You'll laugh at this. Most of my paid offers come from romantasy books.
Really?
And I
I've
was
only
like,
had one author offer to pay me ever, for the record.
I've had a couple, but I've said no to all of them because
Yeah,
the
same.
ones who have offered to pay me are like I don't want to read the book. So
Yeah,
it's like
it's
no, no.
but
But yeah, I
even
got
for me,
offered to
like
read like an MM dark romance vampire book, and I was like, I mean, I
where
guess, but I don't want to feel forced to read it either. That feels dirty.
where the dirty book is going to feel extra dirty. Where am I? Like, what the fuck? I don't get bookshelf offers. What the fuck am I doing wrong? I get offers that make no sense. I'm just like, what are we doing? I got like a random. Oh, input, like put your book in or upload your EPUB and we'll turn it into an audiobook like AI company. I'm like, no, I don't want to
Oh, I
fucking do
saw
that.
that. I got that too. I get a lot of weird shit. Like this company that was like it's like a tablet clock, and it like tells you quotes based on the time of
Oh, I
day and
like that
shit.
thing. I
I
took
mean,
that, but I only agreed to do a story post for it.
I just said I I'm not. Where would I put it? Like where
Uh, I already
what am I
had the
gonna do with
author.
that?
My wife got me the author clock for Christmas, which is
Yeah.
like the e-reader version of the thing, but it's only the time. And like when I saw this did the weather and stuff, and I was like, oh, I'm a fucking tech nerd though. I have a fucking Alexa Echo on my desk and shit. Like I've always been a tech nerd. So I was like, I'm in. Gimme.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
book related tech, I'm all about it, which
No,
is
I was like, it's cool, but I was like, I just don't want to do a post for this thing, you know.
so
I
well,
was smaller at the time.
I
Now I don't feel
negotiate
bad with
now.
that. Oh
I
no, I do too.
negotiate like a bastard when it comes to stuff like that. Cause I was like, I don't do feed content, period, that's paid.
Yeah.
Um, the only PR box that has ended up on my feed had no requirements. It ended up on my feed because I recorded the video for the story and I fucking laughed so hard making it. And
Yeah.
I was like, this is a post. I was like, it's
That's a
got to
good
be a
way to do
post.
it. I mean,
Yeah.
to be fair, I just tell them now, like, I'll do a story post. I
Hmm.
give them a lot more analytics after the story post is done than most people because that's what they end up telling me. And they're happy. Like, that's fine. Because I don't really want to do feed posts that require payment either. Like, I did that one time and, that company, like, they're a small publisher. So I was like, okay, this is cool. One of their authors sent me his book before this all happened. And I was like, okay, this is cool. And then I was like, all right, you guys already published this guy. Yeah, sure. I'll do a paid thing and like do an unboxing and read some of your books. And then I read the guy's book, and it's one of the worst things I've ever read in my life. Like it's like problematically bad. It's not just
Uh,
like, oh, it's bad. It's like, oh, this is bad, and also you should keep these thoughts inside of your head. And then I couldn't get myself to read any of the other books that they sent, and they send me emails all the time, like, hey, when are you gonna read our books? When are you gonna read our books? And I have to constantly take screenshots of the first email where I was like, I'm not telling you when I'm reading your books. I will do this for one video, but they want me to film like six things for them.
no, absolutely not. I won't
And
do anything with film requirements. I
that's the thing
refuse.
is like I don't need money, doing this. I just do it because it's fun. So it's
Yeah,
like
that's
it
I
just
I
it
say
rubbed me
all the
so
time,
the
I'm
wrong way, and
fortunate.
I don't want to do that anymore.
You know what I mean? I'm fortunate where it's like I enjoy this. I enjoy reading. Like it's cool. I I occasionally accept a free product? Yeah, of course. Like I'm not a bananas person. Like that'd be wild for me to be like,
Yeah, no,
I'm
no,
too pure for your
no,
products.
totally. That's silly.
Um, I also believe that you should get paid for advertisement. You're
Yes.
you're advertising these books that you had no intention on reading. You know what I mean? Like I don't hate anybody that does paid reviews, and anybody that tells you that paid reviews are skewed, you're wrong. Because well, that's not true. Let me
No,
let me
they're a little
rephrase that.
skewed, but I get your point.
They're they're skewed depending on how you negotiate the terms.
Yeah.
It's, if I negotiate the terms and I'm like, hey, I'm going to read it, I want X amount of dollars and I will talk about it, but I am not going to turn around and like, tell everyone to go buy this 5-star fucking book because you paid me. Absolutely not. Now, I don't enter that realm of anything right now, but if I was gonna, that's how I would do it. And if you don't want to pay me, that's fine. Like, because at a certain
Yeah,
point, you're gonna
I'm with the
pay for
pressure.
the audience, you know,
Yeah.
regardless of how it's gonna land. Because the other thing too is like a negative review is gonna sell books.
Maybe.
It, I mean, unless I go on here and I'm like, this is absolute dog water, like somebody should set it on fire in the yard. This isn't even good enough to go in my fireplace. Like, that's not a good negative review. But if
I don't post negative reviews anymore because
oh,
I know that that book's getting taken off of someone's list.
yeah, I mean,
Like it's going
so,
to.
but like, my point is like, in a paid situation, I would frame it. I would never do a negative review like that anyway, even if I thought the book, unless you were doing something egregious in the book that was like borderline illegal or fantasized and built up illegal shit,
Uh-huh.
I'm out. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, But otherwise, like I'll frame it like I didn't love this. I didn't, think this was great because of X, Y, and Z and da 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 da. Because what I hate, other people might love. That's a great negative review. Like, is it Dinneman that only posts 1-star reviews on his website for his books?
Oh, that's really funny.
I'm pretty sure it was Dinneman. I could be wrong, and maybe it's just
Sure,
cultural
that's pretty
relevance in
funny
my
though.
head. But
Yeah.
yeah. Would I accept home baked cookies? That's the only kind of payment I
I would
take. What do you mean?
also accept home baked cookies.
Yeah, you're in Colorado, you said?
Hmm.
Oh, you're in the original home baked cookie state.
What does that mean?
Right? Is it Colorado or am I stupid? Were you the first? Was that the first legal weed state?
Oh, is that what home baked means? Yes.
No, 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 no. That's not what it means, but that's just where my
I
head
was like,
went.
no, I mean, I'll take it. I do like cookies and weed, so I mean, that does
Yeah,
work.
the kids have taken that away from me too. But it's not that I couldn't, it's I'm too paranoid. I'm
I
like,
get it.
because I
That's
know
okay.
what'll happen. You know what I mean? It's the same thing with drinking. Like I won't drink if it's like, even though my wife is home and like in bed and like whatever has work tomorrow, I wouldn't have a drink just for the sheer fact in my head I'm like, I'm gonna have 2 drinks and then I'm gonna have to take a kid to a hospital. And
I
none
get
of
it.
the scenario would ever happen, but that's where
I
my
get
head
it.
goes.
I get it. I get it.
Uh,
Yeah.
but Ben, I appreciate you. This went on a lot longer than I had
I told you this
originally
was gonna go
timed.
long, dude. I
It's
told you this was gonna go
I can
long.
bullshit all day every day, but I
Me
also
too.
need to go to bed because my children will be up at 5.
That's fine. I was
Um,
gonna get off too, dude. I'm tired.
but thank you. Do the thing where you tell everybody where to find you on all the things.
Yep, I'm Ben Talks Books on everything, which just means Instagram and TikTok because I'm not psychotic and I can only keep up on 2 platforms.
Same. I only go
So
on YouTube to repost these.
I don't even do that anymore. I gave up.
I don't do YouTube like any other content. I just do this so that it goes to the pod platforms.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah, that is, and I just throw it on YouTube because I'm like, well, I'm already doing it for the pod platforms.
Sure.
But
All right.
thank you for hanging out. I
Of
appreciate
course,
it.
dude. We'll do this again sometime.
Yeah, I'll talk to
Later.
you. Have a good night, everybody.
You too. Bye.
Bye.